SA's public prisons are currently locked down as a staffing dispute escalates. It's in response to a perceived lack of action over staff shortages after cutbacks were made under the previous Liberal government. The PSA says the lockdown is expected to last for most of the day. Court today for a man following a drug bust at Hillcrest. Officers allegedly found around 10 kilos of methamphetamine, cash, documents, stolen identification and Clan Lab equipment at an address last week. The 49-year-old was arrested on a string of charges, including drug trafficking. Well, a man has been jailed for plotting terror attacks in Sydney 9 years ago. Josh Bryant has more.
Hamdi El-Qudssi has been convicted of heading up a terrorist organisation which was planning attacks on targets including a naval base in 2014. A jury last year found him guilty of directing the activities of the terrorist group known as the Shura. He's been sentenced to a minimum of 11 years and 3 months with a maximum of 15 years. El-Qudssi already behind bars after previously being convicted of foreign incursion offences.
The acting Prime Minister says Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister Julian Leeser won't be the last Liberal to break ranks and support the voice to Parliament. The federal opposition won't back the proposed advisory body. Mr Leeser has moved to the backbench where he can campaign for a yes vote in the referendum. Penny Wong says other Liberals are supporting the voice and there will be more to come.
I suspect these Liberals will not be the last to break from Mr Dutton's partisan narrow position. A narrow position which really flies in the face of the generosity and the decency of the Australian people.
The Australian scientist who invented mobile wireless FPOS in the 1990s believes we'll soon be carrying a personal security card in our wallet to access banking and basic services. Hector Daniel Elbaum from ViroGuard is working on the idea to protect against the rise of cybercrime. Mr Elbaum says there is no known way to hack the card.
It's basically you carry a card with you, it's a credit card size, it's mainly to protect your ID, but it's a personal card, it's one card for all your protections, which means that you don't need passwords anymore and you have one card with a very high security connection.
Times are tough for Tupperware. The 77-year-old company is cutting staff and offloading its real estate portfolio in a bid to stay afloat. CNN's Nathaniel Meyerson says it's a sad decline for the once powerhouse in kitchenware.
This is a brand, an iconic American brand that's fallen on hard times. The stock's down about 50% today after it warned that it could file for bankruptcy if it doesn't raise enough cash to stay in business. It hasn't remained relevant with younger shoppers, and so that's why we're seeing this decline.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, the stage is almost set for the Gather round. The Crows will kick off the SA round on Thursday night against Carlton. Port says Orazio Fantasia is the only player not in the mix for selection this weekend as he recovers from a quad strain. And Sydney has ruled out Buddy Franklin for Friday night's clash against Richmond. The Swan hasn't been able to train this week after suffering a knock to his knee in their loss on the weekend. Carlton will be without Sam Doherty for up to 6 weeks after he underwent surgery. Scans revealed the defender needed to go under the knife to repair a meniscus tear in his knee. And it'll be an All-Australian final at the Rip Curl at Bells Beach. Ethan Ewing and Ryan Callanan will battle it out for the coveted Bell Trophy in the event's 60th anniversary. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Parafield Gardens, a car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road. Elizabeth got a crash, Hanson Road near Elizabeth Road, while at Prospect, twisted traffic light, Regency Road near Prospect Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Mireland, also Cross Road at Unley Road, pretty busy. And look out for a camera, Robinson Road at Waterloo Corner. Get that sports bet same game multi fueling this AFL Gather round. Combine multiple single bets for bigger odds. Make it a same game multi with Sportsbet. You win some, you lose more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers this afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow 20, partly cloudy Thursday 22, mostly sunny Friday 25. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, the stage is set for the AFL's first ever Gather round. Tonight, just how big it'll be for South Australia. See the moment a man's leap from the law ended with a broken leg. The wallet-sized card that protects you from hackers. and a link between a lack of sleep and cognitive decline in middle-aged men. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News, tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Henry around the body. Did he get the kick away in time?
He did.
The Crows have cruised to a win, and they're now 2-2 to start the season.
This is a vital kick for Florent. This is vital. He has nailed it. He has nailed it.
Hang on.
Hang on.
It hasn't made the distance.
It didn't make the distance. They thought it was over. And it's been marked by Bergman. What scenes we've seen. Aaliyah knows it. It didn't make the distance. It looked like he nailed it.
It's 5 minutes after 4. Good afternoon to you. Hopefully you've enjoyed the long weekend. It was a big week for our SA teams, but as I welcome Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver, it's an even greater week for South Australian football.
Thank you, Sam. I heard that for the first time there. Timmy went from a boiled lolly to an absolute chocolate hague. We'll get you, Timmy, after a nice Easter break. Filled my fridge with cockles and KGs. I sent you the photos, Timmy.
Yes,
but more importantly, the Crows won. That Port win was just outstanding. It is gather round. All AFL eyes will be on South Australia. Timmy, welcome. A massive week ahead.
Absolutely. It's huge for South Australia. It's just so exciting. I think both our teams are in really good time slots as well. But it's all the other stuff that's happening around it that makes it so exciting. It's going to be a great week.
Well, for the state, 150,000 interstate visitors. They're saying this will be as big if not bigger, than any of the Clipsal 500s in the early days or the Formula Ones.
Wow.
Which is just great for our pubs. We've got clubs, hotels are full, restaurants. Get your bookings in because they'll be full. 9 rounds over 4 days. All the footy shows are coming. Carol will be out with us Wednesday. Yes. There's the front bar, AFL 360. We have, drum roll please, Gil McLaughlin.
Whoa.
Live in our commentary box Thursday.
Wow.
The man. So wear your RM Williams, your jodhpurs.
Yeah, good point.
And a rod and gun top.
Yeah, I like
Look a little bit spiffy. Because I don't think I've talked to him for 6 years.
That sort of suits my look, doesn't it?
He's riding into town on his trusty steed and talking to you and I on Thursday.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? And maybe he could tell us his exit date that day.
That's okay. Here's the big thing for me. Sanford will have a bye.
Yes.
Local footy, most local footy has a bye. Yes. Junior footy has a bye. Some of the country leagues, I think the Southern League's playing. All eyes on our state. This is massive. We nail it. Ticket sales have been superb. We need that rubber stamp for next year.
I know there's some talk about, and I think Caro's one of them, saying it'll happen again for Adelaide next year. I actually think they'll throw it around, and I reckon whoever gets it next could almost be the poison chalice. Because I reckon Adelaide are...
Well, let's nail it first.
That's what I reckon. We nail it first.
Let's nail it.
And then you go, wow, you pass that on to whoever else wants it or gets the nod, and you'd be pretty nervous, I reckon, to get it right.
I've had a look at my willy weather. It's going to be a little bit wet. Thursday will be great, but Saturday might be a bit wet. I just hope that forecast is wrong. Anyway, it's a winter sport. Doesn't matter. It'll be great. Well, even if it is at Mount Barker and it's pouring with rain.
You know, sometimes the prediction for the 4-day Easter break wasn't great, but we got away with it, I reckon.
We did.
It's pretty good weather.
Monday was very, very good. Timmy, Port's win was against the odds. We're going to start there. I think it's kept the Wolves at bay for at least another month. The relief and pride on Ken's face was just glowing.
Absolutely. I reckon John Carl said to me once, all you get from coaching is relief. He said that even when you win a flag, Timmy, all you get is relief. And for a coach, he said, you've just got to move on. You go into either the next round or you go to your preparation for next year. He said it's about all you can get, but it looked like all the air came out of Kent's jacket with that last kick. It was quite amazing, but I think that we've got a little grab from Ken now about the win and going forward.
Footy's good. Footy's good. Does all sorts of things to you, sends you to all sorts of places, and ultimately you have to be willing to go to those places. And as a footy club this week and as a team, we had to go to some of those places and to come up here and play against a highly respectable opponent who we just have such admiration for in a hostile environment with not everything going that great for us for a fair bit of the game, to hang in there and get down 20 points twice. This team's got a fair bit of character.
So I'd describe it as a tough, gritty win, which had my KPI from last week in it. Never, ever give up.
No, they didn't.
And they didn't. And it was a difficult game in difficult conditions. The breeze was going everywhere.
Yeah.
There was also that Paddington end. There was only 4 out of the 18 goals kicked at that end, and Port only kicked 1 to that end, and that was in the third term to Finlayson. But it was a game of swings and surges by both teams, and at times I felt marred by some really confusing umpiring.
Oh, God.
For both sides.
That Houston one.
Yeah. Well,
that was the worst display of umpiring this year.
It
was.
4 of them. And there was 4, of course. And then there was a free kick given to Todd Marshall from a very good one-on-one with Rampy, and you're going, why'd you get that? Kicked a magnificent goal out of it, but it was really confusing.
They 100%.
Well, they knew.
And Port supporters, 8223 30000. How do you sum that up? We're going to speak to Treaders after 5, but they played for Ken.
Well, they knew on the back of last week.
Had to.
Absolutely.
So stick that in your pipe.
There was heat there, and they did what we love. Never gave up.
They didn't. Aliir, what did he have? 10 D50 intercepts. 5 of them were marks. That's Spall on the goal line. If he doesn't play, you lose.
I thought he was outstanding.
I thought he was BOG by the length of the straight.
It was back to when he first came here, some of the games he played, we're just going, how good's this bloke? So he was back to his best, which was really good to be able to turn that form around so quickly. Butters, outstanding. Dersman, really good. McKenzie, great. I love the fact they brought these young'uns in, Mead, McEntee, Williams. They were there to chase, tackle, harass.
And they did.
And they did that really well. And then Finlayson's 3 goals, when you're only kicking 9... and the match winner.
Terrific.
It was a terrific game from him, and just really essential that he got that last one for sure. But it was massive and well done. Here's head of football, Chris Davies, just on the challenge of getting better.
We had things that we needed to work on, and we got back to that last week. We're 2-2. We played better on the weekend. Our challenge is to continue to do that.
And that's what they got to do.
Great win.
They got a big game against the Bulldogs Saturday night.
Okay, Port supporters, are you a bit quiet? I think I was with David and Will this morning for the Brekkie Cross, and I think it was Pembo said that half of the Port people he speaks to are death riding the club, hoping they lose so that they can get rid of Ken. Do you believe that comment?
I don't like that attitude.
No, but it's there.
You want to win.
No, of course you do, but it's there.
Yeah.
So Port supporters, how do you feel this week? You've won.
I hope that's a minority.
You're 2-2. You've won. Where does Ken sit in your eyes now? Have a say, 8223 000.
What about your boys?
Well, it was the Crows' clear best win for the year. They were good against Port. Port were good, but they only had probably that last 12 minutes where they played electric footy and kicked 6. But this was 4 quarters of what I call total team footy. The all played well flag went up. Here's Matty Nix.
We set ourselves for the week. We challenged ourselves this week that this was a big round for us. We talk about challenging the best and doing that consistently. So where Freo have been at the last couple of years, this was a really big game for us. And so our guys put it on each other, and I thought we got that challenge done.
You did. Every aspect of the game they got right. When the opposition had it, they got it back. Scored 7 goals from turnover. That's a season high. When they had it, I'm loving it now because they're using it well. They're starting to hit targets. 60% conversion inside 50. 12 inside 50 marks, again, a season high. And the other one, and it's great having Scotty Campriali there, straight out of the coach's box, the way he sees the game, sets it up and articulates it. The system and method in which the Crows are playing on now, they're not bees to honey. They're one chase one, behind the ball, they can lock it inside the 50. They couldn't do that. It was a absolute total team effort. There's no doubt about that. And Nixie's calling for consistency.
You want to get this one right. This is all about momentum. This is about, consistently performing. That word that we haven't been able to back up to this point.
Bit of continuity because they've been playing together for a bit. But here's the thing. They got Carlton in 2 days' time. We'll be there and we'll speak to Gil McLaughlin in the pre-match. McAdam's available from suspension. Does he tip out Gallant? Probably unlikely. Does Pedler tip out Ned McHenry? No way I'd do that. He had 10 goal assists and score involvements. Ned, it was probably his best game for the club. Does Fogg come straight in? Does Berry come straight in? Who goes out?
They're nice headaches to have.
They are nice headaches to have.
Because don't you think Phil Thorpe's really starting to
that's what I mean.
Cement that spot?
Starting to build some genuine depth. Here's Nixie again.
Obviously, McAdam and Pedler they're available and fit. We look at Fogarty. We'll make a decision there just on how he keeps progressing.
I mean, and this is where I know the Crows are pushing for a top 8, is when players like Ben Keys, who have been a star for the club, are now being forced to a high half forward, and now could be forced out of the team. Now that's nothing again, Ben Keays. Tries his guts out, but he has limitations with the way he plays. So is it Keays or Pedler? Is it Keays or Ned? Is it, you know what I mean? When that sort of player who's been terrific is getting tipped out of the club, you know you got genuine depth.
Just loved some of the ball movement by foot, coming out of defence, through the middle and hitting targets inside. It was as good a footwork as they've done for a long time.
It was. We'll speak to Rory Sloane about that. I love players who play with a bit of spunk. I call it a bit of spunk, a bit of excitement. I don't know about on the red line. A bit like Jake Saligo. Very, very lucky to cop a fine after touching that goal umpire. Some Wallies over there in Victoria, he's got to get a game, he's got to get 2. If Green got 5, well, he gets so. But nick off. He got a fine, and rightly so.
Yep.
It was in jest. It was a brain fade. He was in the moment. It wasn't in anger, or he just touched the umpire. Now, don't do it.
What about Jeremy Cameron's shirt front?
Oh, my goodness.
That was unbelievable.
Was that not the funniest thing you've seen in footy? For those that didn't see it, he kicked his 7th goal late in the game against Hawthorn.
Sprinting around.
Actually, we'll play it. Have a listen.
Walks in and goes whack. That's number 7, and he's pounded into the ump.
Oh, look at the love. Whispering sweet nothings in his ear and apologising frantically for an accidental collision with the boundary umpire.
So he ran through the goals. The Geelong cheer squad were in the southern stand. He's looking over his right shoulder with his arms out. Yee-hoo! And then he whacks in it. Well, he'll get a fine for that, or nothing to look at here.
Actually, I don't think he has.
Well, here's the thing. Jeremy Cameron has every right to do that on a football field.
Yeah.
That 4th ump had to see him
and get out
have awareness and get the hell out of the way. He hasn't copped a fine yet, and he shouldn't. That's on the umpire. That's akin to on the road driving up someone's blurter. 100% fault the bloke that hit you up the bum.
Yep.
Don't you reckon?
Agreed.
I think you do.
Thank you, Your Honour.
I think you do. And again, just on a sad note, because it's all about gather round and excitement and all of that. But again, another low life, vilified another AFL player. This time it was Isaac Rankin. He wouldn't hurt a fly, this bloke. He's a giver. He's a lovely soul. Actually, we'll speak to Rory Sloane about it. And it's actually really hurt this kid because it's the first time he's been targeted.
Yeah, right.
And obviously, because he's now a star, he's in the limelight and people want to take that
in a footy
person
city
down.
too.
Oh, it's got me stuffed how the AFL can't track down these deadbeats and ban them. Now, apparently it was an Instagram burner account. He's got no followers, but he can quickly set it up. There's got to be ways you can track those.
I think they're working on it. I think they are working on it, trying to get to the source of that.
But I want this lad or
cut
girl,
it out.
whoever, named, shamed, banned for life.
And unfortunately, it just keeps happening. There's no need for it. Just cut it out.
Love
Simple
your
as
calls.
that.
Love your calls.
8223.
Crows supporters.
Yep.
It's gather round. You beauty!
It's a great week. We got lots to talk about. 8223 is our number. If you want to get interactive, give us a call. One text here on the Foodland text from Chris saying, "Afternoon, boys. Well, Ken showed Treaders. Maybe now get off his back." Well, we'll find out what Treaders thinks. He's in studio very shortly. We've got Graham Corns here as well, and both Port and Crows, Trent McKenzie and Rory Sloane, to represent your clubs later on the show. Plus, each hour tonight and all week, we'll be giving away tickets to Gather Round, and tonight we've got 2 4-day double passes for you to get along to these Adelaide Oval extravaganzas.
Yes, if you've missed out, keep listening. This is big.
Because they're sold out, aren't they?
Oh,
Port's game's sold out Saturday,
sold
Crows
out.
Thursday.
Crows sold out.
So 2 4-day passes.
Correct.
2 chances.
Yep.
For you and 3 mates.
Yep.
You can go to every game you want
double
to.
pass. It's a double pass.
James
You and
rang me
mate.
today. He's looking for a double. Can I win one of these?
No.
You might have to.
No.
It's
No,
going to be a
don't
bit of a
think so.
challenge. We've got a new mechanic tonight, so it's going to be a bit of fun.
Hottest tickets in town.
It certainly are. 19 after 4. Get on the phone. 8223 0000. We'll take your calls next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Gather round, people. I'll tell you a story.
South Australia has a story to tell, so gather round, Australia. From the hills to the coast, our state is abuzz with a festival of football like you've never seen before. Every team from every state, and we welcome all visitors with open arms. It's all happening here in South Australia, and 5AA is your home for Gather Round.
Rollerco would never boast about how good they are at fixing sliding doors and windows, so I'll do it for them. For nearly 40 years, Rollerco have been making and fixing all sorts of sliding doors and windows. They seriously know everything there is to know. And if by some outrageous chance they don't have the parts you need, they'll do their very best to find a solution. Rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling. Rollerco.com.au.
New Zealand, spectacular, safe and friendly. The perfect destination for a magical getaway. Right now, Holiday Wonders Mitcham have an exclusive 17-day fully inclusive package. It's our best deal ever. Save up to $980 per couple. Fly direct from Adelaide with Air New Zealand, touring North and South Islands with meals, accommodation and so much included, with more highlights than any comparable New Zealand holiday. Call now or visit holidaywonders.com.au. Holiday Wonders, Belair Road, Mitcham.
20 past 4 lines available. Love your calls. Now, one of the best ways to see SA is through the dusty windscreen of your four-wheel drive, but if you want to get there, you want to be TJM equipped. Safe to say, SA have hit the roads more than ever in the past couple of years, and once you get a taste for it, there's no going back. I drove down to the Yorks and Galway. God, the people on the road that have four-wheel drives, they've got to get into TJM. The family behind TJM, Italo, been there for 10 years, just a terrific company. TJM is celebrating its 50th year in Australia this year. Our friend Italo Formato, he is a ripper. He's been voted TJM's National Distributor of the Decade. What?
Wow.
I thought it was of the year. That's of the decade. Italo.
10 years.
I might need to ring him on the way home. Wow. Safety and comfort are always a priority. They've got bull bars, suspensions, snorkels, camping gear, roof racks, driving lights, LED, LSD, LE up your D. They've got amps up, everything. They are just the one-stop shop.
Oh, yeah, you got a four-wheel drive, get down there.
Actually, he's doing up the Clovelly Park one and the Nailsworth one. So get in and see him, TJM, Nailsworth and Clovelly Park.
Terry White Chemmart has real deals on big vitamin brands like 50% off selected Blackmores, Swiss Bioglan, Inner Health and Nurex professional vitamins. Get real deals every day at Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care. T's and C's apply. Sale ends April 18th.
You might think having thousands of POWs is excessive, but that's not what the team at Parafield Airport Liquor Store think, because that's how many they have. Sure, they might be made up of over 200 gins, 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. But they're some of the best pals you can have, and they're always looking for more. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Whether a hobby or a full-blown dairy and livestock farm, they all have one thing in common: the need for good quality steel to keep livestock safe and secure. At Knorr Metals, we have just that. From rural fencing and gates to droppers, loading ramps and more, you'll find what you need for your farm. And if we don't, we'll source it for you quickly and at the best price. No matter what kind of farm you have, we'll help you out. At Knorr Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottaway.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, and you can tune into the program on our Foodland live stream on Facebook and YouTube with more stores close to home and everyday low prices. Great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. It's 23 after 4. We'll get to your calls in just a second. First, your traffic.
At Parafield Gardens, car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road. Elizabeth got a crash there, Hanson Road near Elizabeth Road, and Prospect, twisted traffic light, Regency Road near Prospect Road. Busy in a few spots, including South Road at Mile End, Taplers Hill Road at Glenelg North starting to build, and look out for cameras, Victoria Road, Largs North, and Tolmer Road at Elizabeth Park. Keanu Reeves returns in the biggest action blockbuster of the year, John Wick Chapter 4. Don't miss the film everyone's talking about, John Wick Chapter 4, only in cinemas now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
G'day, Ash.
Stephen, good afternoon. Hey, what happened on last Thursday night, mate?
Hang on.
What happened to the dead legs?
Hang on. Is this Ash that had a bet with me for a black guts?
Yeah.
Is that
and I gave you 4 goals in and you still got thumped.
Well, Ash, I will bring that in tomorrow, so come in and I'll give it to you, a bottle of Rusden black guts. You knew something I didn't.
I tell you, no, because what I'll do, I'll double up with this to your mate sitting there, because one thing I hate more than the Redlegs is the Magpies.
Oh.
Hello.
And I know the Blues are playing the Magpies next.
Okay, so you want a double or nothing for that?
How many goals in, Ash?
I'd make a different story here with the Magpies. They don't give in that easy. Like dead legs are a walkover.
Oh, Ash! No,
crack.
Don't take
the bet?
No, I'll have a bottle of Russ and Black Guts for you tomorrow. Come in, Ash.
All right, well done, gentlemen.
I'll put you through to our
All
producer.
right, yeah,
Thanks,
we're
mate.
coming for you, TG.
All right, buddy. It was a gutsy bet. I'll give it to you, mate. Take my hat off to you. Well
It
done.
was a gutsy bet. What did they win by in the end, Sam?
53, I think it was.
Good at the parade.
At the parade.
Goodness me. He knew something I didn't. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, g'day guys. Couple of things. First of all, the coward that message Rankin. We've gone down the path of exposing these comments and making them public. I think we probably need to go down another path. This coward's nameless. Nobody knows who he is other than him. The only person who gets anything out of this is him sitting there, probably in a dark basement with no future. The players should alert the club, and the club should alert the AFL and the authorities. But I think the players should be encouraged not to share it, because the path we've gone down, it doesn't seem to be working.
Well,
So I
unless
don't
we
think
can name
give
and
them-
shame him. I think you're right there, Dave. There's got to be a better
I don't
way.
think we give them don't give them any airtime. Don't give them any exposure. Send it to the authorities. Support the player, but don't give these cowards any airtime. And even speaking about it now makes me feel ill that he might be listening and involved. Second one, gather round. I reckon it's fantastic for our state, and the comments by the AFL today that if we put bums on seats as we're suggesting we're going to, and it's the success that it is, that there's a potential that it could be a yearly event for South Australia. I encourage everyone, if you haven't already got a ticket to a sold-out game, get to a game, put a bum in a seat, get along to the festivities along the riverbank there and enjoy it, because for economic boom, this state now relies on tourism. If we can get this every year and we can have tens of thousands of people coming once a year, it's great for our economy and great for the state. So I encourage everyone to embrace it and get involved.
Well said, Dave. And to the Premier and his department for getting this over the line, because he basically got Gill in a headlock. Well done.
Yeah.
150,000 plus
I think it might
interstate
be
visitors.
Close to 180, somebody was saying
that
earlier today.
is
So massive numbers.
Hataf rang me from SA Tourism, major events. Is there a function you're going to on Wednesday?
Thursday, I think. Thursday
it's
lunchtime.
the who's who of Adelaide.
Yes, I've been invited.
Yeah, and you've RSVP'd.
I did.
Yeah.
And I actually RSVP'd and said,
God.
now listen, I'm going to come, but can you just get the Premier not to ask for an autograph in front of everybody? It's just a bit embarrassing.
Oh, God. I'll be fitting windscreens. Hello, Tracy at North Haven.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, Trace.
My dopey friends in Melbourne, they're two of my friends are in the Collingwood cheer squad, got every ticket for the games, just forgot to get accommodation.
Oh, no.
So they're staying at my place.
Oh.
They've got a recliner each.
Oh, well, for $1,000 a night, that's a bargain, Trace.
That'll do, Trace.
I went to uni with them, so they got to Bordertown about half an hour ago. They're staying there tonight. They said the road is packed.
Wow.
All coming to Adelaide.
That is so exciting. It is
And
great.
all you can, they said all you can see is cars with the scarves out the windows.
Brilliant.
And it's pouring there at the moment, so the scarves are getting wet, but people don't care.
Good on you, Trace. Thanks for
How do you
sharing
forget
that.
accommodation?
Now, well, that's a big thing to forget. Now, we've got 2 doubles to give away, Sam. Just plug that again.
So 4-day pass, which means the entire weekend, the game's Adelaide Oval. We have 2 double passes to give away, one
wow.
each hour. So before 5 o'clock, we're going to give
Keep
one
listening.
opportunity
All
for
right.
you to win your way.
Alrighty.
Just in terms of those numbers, interesting, we heard some information come out today. Victorians have bought 35,000 of the tickets to gather around. That's 20%. And the biggest travelling fan bases are the Carlton, Collingwood, Geelong and Richmond football clubs. Not in any order.
Well, I reckon Fremantle and West Coast, because Fremantle fans are here now, because they came.
That's
Port
right.
Adelaide play West Coast after the gather round.
Correct.
I think the last was 11 planes were put on, especially to get all the folk over
Up
here.
to 17 now, I believe.
So, from Perth?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Reckon Mouse might have told me that, but let me get back to you.
Now stop texting.
4:30, going to speak to Rory Sloane and Trent McKenzie in the next half hour.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with news headlines. Prisoners at the state's public jails are locked in their cells amid an industrial dispute. A new SAPOL recruitment van is ready to hit the streets. WA authorities are urging people in the state's north to prepare as a tropical cyclone forms off the coast. And in sport, Jack Crisp is free to play for Collingwood this weekend. He's avoided suspension over a controversial video on social media after being questioned by the AFL Integrity Unit. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Kirrigalli, got a truck broken down. It's on the freeway Old Kirrigalli Road. Got a left-hand lane block there. Parrotfield Gardens, car has gone into a pole. Lovelock Road near Whites Road and Prospect twisted traffic light. Regency Road near Prospect Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Mylene with cameras this afternoon. Eastern Parade, Gilman, Main North Road at Mawson Lakes. Spend over $250 and save $25. Spend $500 and save $50 with the IKEA Loyalty Club Member Spend and Save offer. Shop now at IKEA. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, showers tonight down to 16, a shower or two tomorrow 21. Right now it's 21 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
David, it's almost here. Gather Round hits SA from the 13th to the 16th of April, and together with Macca's, we can get you there in style.
All this week, we've got your chance to win exclusive locker room tickets to check out the biggest games at Adelaide Oval, including food and drinks.
It's one of the best places to watch the footy, so for your chance to be in the locker room, keep listening to Breakfast on 5AA, your home of Gather Round.
All thanks to Macca's, official partners of the AFL Gather Round. Kick your way down to Footy Festival to grab your Macca's Sharon footy. I'm loving it.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
G'day, it's Matty Johns from the Matty Johns podcast. Now, every week you're going to get the biggest news from the NRL. Some really good chats with some really interesting people and some insights into the goings-on with my beautiful, wonderful, dysfunctional family.
Jack's not going to be on today. There's been a falling out between Dad and Jack.
Testosterone disappears and suddenly I've got so much...
And his estrogen increases.
I do. Search for the Matty Johns podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Some builders think a sloping block has limitations. When Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, they think, the possibilities. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them. Beechwood will design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every square metre. So if you're looking at a sloping block, go for it. Beechwood has your back. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Experience everything Europe has to offer with Phil Hoffman Travel and Travel Marvel. From Amsterdam to Budapest, make the most of Travel Marvel's brand new river ships with everything at your fingertips on board and dreamy destinations on your doorstep with premium cruises starting from just $3,995 per person. Let Travel Marvel take the hard work out of your holiday and immerse yourself in every moment. Travel Marvel, freedom to explore. Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Things need topping up from time to time, including your COVID-19 protection. Even if you've been vaccinated, boosters can top up your defences and reduce the risk of serious COVID illness. If you're an adult and it's 6 months since your last COVID vaccination or infection, you can now get the latest vaccine. Top up your COVID protection. Visit health.gov.au/top-up to book your free booster or to find out more. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
26 minutes to 5. We still have Rory Sloane coming up on the show, Treaders and Cornsey, and your chance to win a 4-day double pass to Gather Round this weekend. So stay tuned. We'll have one of those opportunities before 5 o'clock. But our next guest, thanks to One Solution, protect and improve your business with One Solution. They are winners of the National Telstra Enterprise Customer Excellence Award.
Absolutely they are. I tell you what, Port Adelaide had a thrilling 2-point victory on Saturday night. Our next guest played a very good game, but Trent, I'm not sure if you were as confused as I was. Here's the dying moments on 5AA.
This is a vital kick for Florent. This is vital. He has nailed it. He has nailed it.
Hang on.
Hang on.
It hasn't made the distance.
It didn't make the distance. They thought it was over. And it's been marked by Bergman. What scenes we've seen. Aaliyah knows it. It didn't make the distance. It looked like he nailed it.
Come on, Timmy.
Well, Trent, if that's the definition of confusion, I don't know what is, mate. That was unbelievable.
That's very funny, Timmy. I haven't heard that. You have gone very, very early, but you weren't the only one, I suppose.
Well, mate, you were right there. Coming off the boot, was it as clear as it appeared to be to me?
Yeah, it definitely was very clear. I was standing pretty much on the point post, and it looked like it was going through, and then you can hear, obviously, everyone screaming. That's when you know because I couldn't see it behind the goals, but I was on the side view, and when you hear the crowd and everyone celebrating, even a few of the boys that were pretty close to the goal scorer were celebrating for Sydney. So, yeah, you know, it's a pretty cool kick from there, but obviously, yeah, I had a good view of it from side on, and it held up pretty well, and lucky the boys were onto it and kept it in.
What did Aaliyah say to you? Like, did he notice, this is holding up? Did he actually know?
No, he didn't. I don't think anyone did, to be honest. It was more like the last...
I'm starting to feel better, Trent. I'm starting
to... as I said, Timmy, you weren't the only one. But, lucky he was switched on, and kind of, everyone just was a bit shocked, I think, and then had to go up for a contest. It was a very funny way to end the game.
Incredible. Lear's game, though. Wow. He just loved it. Thrived in that battle with Buddy, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He played a fantastic game. I think he was pretty sore as well, which makes it even more special the way he handled himself. He had a pretty sore groin, I think, towards the start of the second quarter, I think. So he played it out, and obviously, he played a special game. So it's a credit to him. He's going well.
Trent, the pride and relief on Ken's face was there for us all to see after a bloody tough week. That was the best way to repay him, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We've always had full support of Ken, and, the last few weeks we haven't been at our best, and we know that, and we knew we had to respond against a pretty tough outfit, and we always knew it was going to be a tough game. But, I think everyone was pretty excited and pretty happy that the result went our way. We've had, as I said, a tough week during the week last week, so to come out there and put in a performance like we did was very, very happy.
He coached from the bench to change things up. Does he get the double thumbs up for that? Would he do that again?
Yeah, well, I actually spent a bit of time behind him when he did it over in the practice game against Freo in Perth, because I was on the bench for most of the game. So I got to see him first hand, and it was pretty interesting listening to some of the things he was saying. But it was good to connect with him down there, and it makes it a lot easier to get the messages out and across to us boys. I think I had a fair conversation with him early in the game, so it was good in that sense.
The conditions, quite windy, made it difficult for kicking. It was incredible that only 4 of the 18 goals were kicked at that Paddington end, and it must have been tough at that end.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, it was very swirly, so at some stages you didn't actually know which way the wind was going.
Yeah.
I remember having a warm-up kick with Tommy Jonas, and still couldn't work out which way the wind was going. I was looking up at the flags, and they were going one way, and the ball was holding up, going the other way. So it was a tough wind to actually get a hold of, but it was that sort of game, I think, in the end.
I felt like if we were within 1 or 2 goals at three-quarter time, that I felt like we could win. Buddy misses right on the siren. Did you feel confident going into the break?
Yeah, we did. We knew we played some pretty good footy up until that stage, and even the first quarter we knew we had some opportunities, and it was probably a bit closer than what the scoreboard suggested. So we knew we had some run in the legs, and I think Darcy coming on as a sub We knew they were down a couple as well, so he came up with some fresh leads, and we knew if we kept at it and stuck at it, which we did, the result would look after itself. So, it was full credit to the boys for playing out right to the end.
You know, Swans haven't beaten your club since 2016. They're your bunnies, Trent.
I did hear a stat about that after the game, actually. It was pretty surprising, because they obviously have been a good team for a long time. So, we'll take that, and hopefully we'll keep that streak going a bit longer.
Well, we whiz into gather round now. You've got a big game Saturday night. They just keep rolling into each other, don't they, Trent?
Yeah, they do, and we've pretty much moved on to that game already. It's going to be a big game and a big weekend for South Australia, I suppose.
My word.
It's going to be a bit different, and it'll be good to see everyone come. Hopefully we fill up the stadiums, and it's a good atmosphere, which it always is.
I think it'll be massive. Will you get Norton? Will that be your go, or...?
We'll have a sit down and talk about it. I'd say I'll be on him for some stage.
Yeah.
Even Elia isn't been in good form because he's obviously a very good player. So we'll need to put a bit of work into him. But I'll be on him at some stage, I would say.
Well done on the great win on the weekend, and all the best in Gather Round on Saturday night.
Thanks very much, lads. Appreciate it.
Well done, mate. Trent McKenzie, the cannon, played a very good game for Port Adelaide.
For me, that back six seems a lot more.
When he's there.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you. He's a smart player.
My word,
very good one-on-one too.
Very good.
And I just love, and he's a very good user of the ball. So, he's just about got it all.
Yeah. More assured was the word I'm looking for. They just look a little bit more assured with him back there. Nothing against Tommy Cleary, and Tom Jonas will start working himself back into it, get that back six.
Played well on Saturday,
I'll say it again, Alia's game was superb, wouldn't have won without him. One thing about him, now that we've heard that, he was injured and banged up and still played like that.
Yeah, which is great.
10 intercepts.
Yeah. And did very well.
The other thing, we'll mention this before we go to the break, Paddy McCartan got another concussion. We believe that's his 10th. Now, if you're his parents or you're him, you'd be really concerned. I know Sydney are concerned. Do you need to take the decision out of his hand? So let's just say the AFL says, you know what, we're not going to register you. You're not a registered AFL player. And then freedom of choice would kick in. He might get a lawyer or someone and say, well, I want to play. Okay, well, then you play at your own risk. So then down the track, you've signed a waiver that we don't pay you out. You know what I mean?
Now, I know it. I know where you're going.
Could the AFL come in and cancel his registration and say, it is not safe for you, son, to keep playing?
Well, I'm wondering what his family's thinking, his partner's thinking.
There's all of that.
There's all of that, isn't there?
The governing body, someone has to make a decision on the lad, because he's not going to.
There could be an insurance issue here as well. Being able to cover the insurance of saying you're going to go back in after 10 concussions. Whoa.
Yeah, well, there wouldn't
I'm not
be
sure about that.
I don't think there'd be a doctor or a specialist or a neuroscientist that would say that is a smart thing for you to keep playing. So that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's tough.
Should he be cancelled, his registration? Then it's on him. No, but I want to keep playing. Well, okay, you play at your own risk. You cross that line and get concussed. That's not on us. Wow.
All right. Are we feeling generous? Do you think it's time?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's give away some tickets to gather around this weekend. We've got a new game, though, to play, which is going to be a bit of fun. You have to be pretty switched on with your ears. Are you guys pretty switched on? You've got to guess these 4 club songs that we're about to play and tell us all 4 of those clubs. If you can, you get the double pass for all 4 days at the Adelaide Oval.
Right.
Have a quick listen.
Oh, God, that's hard.
That's quick. 8223 0055. We're going to play it a few times. But after the break, we're going to play this for real. Have one more listen. 8223 0055. You guys got any idea?
Right. So the first ones were just drums. Then it went into trumpets. Yeah. Wow.
For 2, you got to make it hard.
So this is for you and a mate.
For you
4-day
and a mate,
pass.
Gather round for 4 days at Adelaide Oval.
It's worth having a crack.
All right, it is 17 minutes to 5.
Just get me Shazam out.
We're going to play this after the traffic.
At Kerry Gully, got a truck broken down. It's on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road, left-hand lane block there. Parafield Gardens, car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road, while at Prospect, twisted traffic light, Regency Road near Prospect Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Marland, also Taplexit Road at Glenelg North, with the camera, Warner Road at Semaphore. An average of 83 people die on Australian rail lines each year. A moment of distraction could change your life forever. Stand back, look up, stay rail safe. A message from the Government of South Australia. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yeah, we just want to thank Trent McKenzie. Thanks to One Solution. Cybersecurity and workflow has never been more important than right now, so don't mess around. Get in touch with our friends at One Solution, winner of the National Telstra Enterprise Customer Excellence Award.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
David is almost here. Gather round Hits SA from the 13th to the 16th of April, and together with Macca's, we can get you there in style.
All this week, we've got your chance to win exclusive locker room tickets to check out the biggest games at Adelaide Oval, including food and drinks.
It's one of the best places to watch the footy, so for your chance to be in the locker room, keep listening to Breakfast on 5AA, your home of Gather Round.
All thanks to Macca's, official partners of the AFL Gather Round. Kick your way down to Footy Festival to grab your Macca's share and footy. I'm loving it.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the team at Lynn Andrews Real Estate have made it easy to manage residential and commercial property. Whether you own a single residential home or multiple commercial properties, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge to share. How to invest safely and properly. Matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, there's nothing better than having a dip in the pool when it's nice and hot, but I don't think it is at the moment. I think it's nearly time to put that pool to bed. So pools can take a bit of time and money, but it's worth it. And during winter, they just need a little sleep. And this is where you got to put a little blankie on, my friend.
It's called a Woolco Guardian pool cover. It'll preserve your chemicals, keep your water clean, and you won't need your pump. Just think about all the money you save from that. The pump goes to sleep, the pool goes to sleep. Correct. You pull it off come summer and it's happy days.
It's amazing. I've done it myself. It's incredible. Well, the warm weather will return one day and then you just take it off. Bang, you're ready to jump in. No green, no goo. I couldn't believe how clean it was.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It'll be clear, cool, ready to go into another big summer.
Get yourself a Woolco Guardian pool cover for winter now. Woolco.com.au.
Hi, Katie Bridges here, market lead at 5AA. The Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out is back, June 22nd at the home of tennis in SA, The Drive. 2023 will mark my third time sleeping out. I keep coming back to the Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out because everyone deserves a safe place to call home, and I know the funds we raise are in good hands with Vinnie's. If you're a business or community leader who cares about our community like I do, don't drop the ball. Sign up now at ceosleepout.org.au.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated. Because it's personal.
Do a deal today at Southern Volkswagen. T-Cross style from $35,990. T-Rock R-Line from $48,990. In stock now for immediate delivery. Hurry, stock won't last. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
12 minutes to 5. We're going to speak to Rory Sloane shortly in Treaders after the 5 o'clock news, but we're giving you a chance to head along to Gather Round with a double pass across all 4 days at Adelaide Oval. And there's 6 games there. I believe 5 of the 9 games at Gather Round are sold out. So this is a pretty hot ticket. All you have to do is guess the 4 club songs in our little mashup.
Rightio, Nick. G'day, Nick. How are you?
Well, guys, how are you?
You feeling confident?
Ask me in a couple of minutes.
Away you go. Away you go.
All right, Nick, let's go. Okay. First one?
Hawthorn. Can I do them in order?
Yep.
Get all 4. Just name the 4
yeah,
clubs.
name 4. So, yep. Okay, go.
Okay. So Hawthorn,
Yep.
GWS,
Right. Two more.
Richmond,
Right.
and St Kilda. Last two again.
You got two, Nick. Let's go to
Well
Burra.
played, Nick. Got
Hello,
two.
Michael.
G'day, Rowan, Timmy. How are you?
Good, buddy. Fire away. Who are the four clubs?
Okay. I'm going to go, Hawthorn start.
Yep.
Hawthorn, then GWS.
Yep. Two more.
Gold Coast and Geelong.
Okay, you got two.
But one different.
Let's
One
have another
different.
listen.
So we've actually, between the two, got
three.
of them.
Yeah,
Hello,
correct.
Mark.
Yeah, g'day, boys. How are you?
Where you go?
Yeah, we reckon Hawthorn, GWS, Gold Coast, and Carlton.
Oh, God, you've only got two, Mark. So I'll tell you, Hawks is right.
Everyone's getting Hawthorn.
Suns is right.
Mm.
And St Kilda is right. We need one more. Jason?
Jace, what do you reckon?
I reckon it's Hawthorn, Gold Coast, St Kilda, and North.
Oh, no, sorry, Jason.
So close.
Quentin from Old Ranella, who loves the Suns.
All right, Quentin.
Well, I knew the Suns one, not that I've heard it a lot, but I knew the Suns one immediately. So the last one's going to be, that's going to be Essendon.
No, it's not. So it's St Kilda, it's Hawthorn, it's Suns. The last one...
Missing. Nick. G'day, Nick.
Very good. How are you?
You got the missing club?
Yeah, because I didn't hear it on the weekend despite going to the game. It's the Dockers.
Yes! Nick! It went St Kilda, it went Hawthorn, it went Freo, it went Suns. You have a double together round, Nick from Woodville.
That's awesome. Thanks very much.
Well done. We'll do it again next hour as
Absolutely,
well.
that was awesome.
That's harder than you
Well done,
think.
Nick. That was.
Harder than you
Make
think.
it a bit easier next time. Thanks, Sam.
Okay. All right. Just a little bit more music.
Well done, Nick.
One more chance after the 5 o'clock news, but it's time now to chat to the former captain of the Crows, Rory Sloane. For you, Installer Kitchens offer quality South Australian-made DIY kitchens at a price that fits your budget.
Rory Sloane.
Rory Sloane
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Well, the Crows had a great win over Freo. It was a total team effort. Joining us, our star veteran, Rory Sloane. Rory, thanks for your time. How good was that?
Yeah, nice to get a win in front of our home fans. So I'm pretty sure they appreciated it. It was a great turnout too. I think it was 33,000 on Easter weekend. Well, I thought there might have been a few too many away, but no, we had a great turnout, which was a really good result.
And they were loud. What I'm loving about the group, we know that you're tenacious. You get at the opposition. You tackle, you chase, you're competitive. But ball in hand, we're starting to damage teams.
Yeah, and that's definitely a part of the game we've tried to work on, just our composure with the footy and using different speeds at different times. So, yeah, I'm sure you've enjoyed the times where we go quick, but, yeah, can we control the ball well as well at times?
And that forward 50, we know it's got some real talent up there, but nearly 60% efficiency once we went in there. You had 12 inside 50 tackles. Round one, there were none. And you're turning the ball over and getting repeat shots at goal. I'm just loving the connection from the midfield to the forwards now, Rory.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what we do want to keep that ball inside there. And we certainly looked at that round one game and we really wanted to make sure we have some high pressure. And I mean, our forwards have been outstanding. I mean, you've seen the way, I reckon there's a couple of clips of Murph, again, just throwing himself everywhere, smothering balls ferociously and applying that pressure. Nettie McHenry's the same. Isaac, Rochelle, even the big Texan gets involved as well. So, yeah, that's a strength we really want to go after up there.
Rory, I thought it was actually a methodical win where you basically had control of the game. Now, you'd probably say it's been a long time since you've been able to actually have a win like that where you're just dictating terms each quarter.
Yeah, yes and no, I suppose. I mean, we've certainly had a few work-ons, especially from the start of the year. And yeah, like the last 2 weeks have been a bit more consistent, and that's what we're going after. I mean, the first two games we played a couple of halves of footy, and we've been a bit more consistent these last two games. But look, I look back over previous years and go, we started pretty well last year. I think we were 3-1. The year before, quite similar. And then we fell away. So the focus for us now is to build that consistency across every game that we come up against, and especially this next little period.
You mentioned the manic work done by a few of the smalls. I thought Ned McHenry, something like 10 score involvements. Had a cracking game.
He works incredibly hard, Ned. His running is his strength, and his ability to get up the ground, get involved, and to push back hard to help reset the ground's outstanding. So, yeah, he's been one of those ones that's probably been a little unlucky the first few games, and got his opportunity on the weekend and really made the most of it.
Well, it's going to be bloody hard because you got Carlton Thursday, McAdams available, Peds will be back, Fogg's available, and Berry. Going to be tough selection, Rory.
It will be, but it's also a great problem to have. And
isn't it?
Everyone that's played in our sample side has gone back, and there's been a lot of times where guys have been very unlucky. Shoal and Chase Jones started the season in that sample side, and both had incredible attitudes, and Ned was the same. But that just makes, when they come in, they grab their opportunity, as you've seen with those three boys. So that's all we ask. There will definitely be some guys that are stiff at times, as every team has, but go back with the right attitude and keep performing and play team footy there, and you'll get your chance again.
5-day break, so you would have had a flush-out run. What we're 2 days out from Carlton at home. It's the Festival of Footy, which is just fantastic. What do we call it? The Gather Round, Timmy? The old Gather Round. Just for starters, do you like it? Do you like the fact we're all coming into our town?
Oh, I'm massive on this. I think it's so good for footy. It's going to be incredible for footy across all states of Australia. I'm glad it's here. It'll be unbelievable. I love the 5-day break too. It's just a great chance for us to freshen up and you just go after skills and recovery in the 5-day break. But no, gather around how good. This is the whole reason I've stayed in South Australia, because I love this state, and for people to come over and to be able to see this great state, and I hope people do get out and venture out around, maybe head to Clarenvale, Hills, Barossa.
Beautiful.
Or even to some of the coastline. It's a great chance for people to explore.
Yeah. You're the only footballer I know that would play every 5 days. You'd play 30, 34 games a year if you had your way, Rory.
Yeah, we've talked about this, Rory. Yeah, I do. I love the 5-day break. I reckon there's something in it. I'm always up for more footy and less training. I think you could have a good stint of pre-season. I don't know how many weeks you'd need, but yeah, then to play more games of footy and to give the fans more of what they want, I reckon would be a great thing. But yeah, 5 days is all I need. You'd have to probably shorten the games a tiny bit, I think. 18 minutes plus time on would probably be ideal.
And a bigger list?
No. A smaller list, and then you can pull in from your feeding sides, maybe. Okay. I've always liked that idea too. But no, anything to play more football. I'm always up for.
Hey, Jordan Dawson in the midfield. He won't go back now, will he? That's his home, isn't it?
He's played very well in there, hasn't he? Big body. The way he set the tone, I think that showdown last week, I think that showed what he can do. And now we've always known, we wanted to get him in there for a little bit, but again, our team's got some flexibility. We're lucky enough that he can go back and help us back there. We've had guys play multiple positions. Hingy started on the wing, he's now back, and I've been back, forward, mid as well, so we've got a few that can rotate through multiple spots.
And what about Tex? He got a new nickname, Snappy Tom. He's snapping everything.
He was sharp, wasn't he?
He was.
He certainly enjoyed a couple of those. I think he got straight to those small forwards and let them know that's how it's done. I think he got the rash and run for a couple and celebrated with them.
I love it when a team plays with what I call a bit of football spunk, and take that the right way. It's on the edge, it's on the red line, and playing with what I call a smile on your face. But it's a bit edgy with that. We know Rochelle can do it, Isaac can do it, but then we had Jakey Saligo touching the umpire. I know on the spur of the moment, I'm glad he only got a fine. He didn't deserve suspension with it, but it is a fine line, isn't it, Rory?
Oh, absolutely. You do want to play with energy and excitement and that passion as well. That certainly lifts the guys' energy around you, and we know it gets the crowd involved. But yeah, you definitely want to celebrate well with your teammates and make sure the energy's high. because that can help keep that momentum. I think your son was one of the best at it, Rowie, if I'm honest. He loved the goal celebration and showed more passion than anyone. So that's something that I reckon he left a lasting legacy on.
Okay, well, Joshy's taken over where he maybe left off. And then on a sour note, to pick up the paper or read the socials, not that I do that because I'm not on Twitter or anything, that Isaac Rankin was vilified. He's a beautiful, sensitive soul, this bloke, that plays football for the love of it. How is he? Let's just start there. Is he okay?
Yeah, I think he's okay. We all wrapped our arms around him and made sure he knew how much we love him and appreciate what he does. And he is, as you said, you nailed it. He's one of the most beautiful humans. He's so kind, thoughtful, unbelievable with our families and kids. That's everyone throughout the footy club. So, yeah, we'll look after him. But yeah, it's disgraceful what people still want to try and do to others. I mean, he's just a great human being, and that's what we love about him.
We need to be able to track him down. I can't believe with all the technology we got, Timmy, just what last week there was one, the week before there was one, now this one. It happens every week, and clearly we're not able to track them down, name them and shame them.
Sometimes
put them on a bloody poster,
and they ban them and take their memberships.
We need to know about that, don't we?
It's like, and I think Isaac said it. When's it going to stop? I mean, come on. It's just not acceptable. Hey, mate, you got Carlton this week. Did you know that?
I do, absolutely. 2 days time. So 2
sleeps, mate.
They've been in great form, and that's going to be a great challenge for us. So we, as I mentioned before, we're well aware how we started the last couple of years, and our goal is just to keep some consistency and momentum going.
Hey, Rory, 5-day break. We know you love it. Thanks for your time. Have a ripper. Keep up that form as far as the team goes. I put the all played well flag up there, Timmy. It was bloody hard to pick the top 5, 6, 7 or 8. You could throw a blanket over about 20 of them. Rory, love your work. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, fellas. We'll chat next week.
Great work. Let's gather round. You can hear the excitement in his voice.
Gather
round. We're gathering, Timmy.
Yes, I can feel it.
I can't wait. Rory Sloane, planning a DIY renovation. Visit You Installer Kitchens. They have custom cabinetry for the kitchen, laundry, linen and much more. Cabinetry that is locally made, fully assembled and quick to deliver. They are the easy way to DIY. Treaders after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers tonight, a shower or two tomorrow and 21. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. SA's public prisons have spent the day in lockdown as a staffing dispute escalates. It's in response to a perceived lack of action over staff shortages after cutbacks were made under the previous Liberal government. Natasha Brown from the PSA explains the lockdown.
From a prisoner's perspective, it means that they're basically in the same situation as they were in last night when they were locked in their cells for the night. Our members have taken security precautions to make sure that the security of the prison is maintained, but the prisoners will not be allowed out of their cells until the lockdown is lifted.
The low-pressure system that's been developing off the Kimberley coast has reached cyclone strength. Category 1 tropical cyclone Isla is now the subject of a watch alert that covers the WA coastline, including Port Hedland and Broome. It's expected to cross the coast late Thursday or early Friday. SAPOL's new recruitment van will hit the road from tomorrow as it deals with staff shortages. The mobile van will target different areas of the state and has partnered with the Adelaide Football League to try and attract new faces. SAPOL's Kim Shuri Summers says the relationship makes sense.
We don't see enough applications from the country and regional areas, which is what we're really passionate about. We want to bring more country people into our academies, so this will give us an opportunity to get on the road and get out into those regional areas as well that perhaps may not see policing as an obvious career.
The federal opposition is maintaining its criticism of the Indigenous voice to Parliament following the resignation of Julian Leeser. The now former Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister will move to the back bench. That'll allow him to campaign for the proposed advisory body. But opposition leader Peter Dutton maintains the voice has major legal flaws.
I think we are on very strong ground, and I'm absolutely determined to make sure that we can do the best thing by our country, and the best thing for our country is to vote no to the Canberra voice.
Latitude Financial has confirmed it's received a ransom demand in the wake of its major cyber attack. The lender says it won't be paying the money because it believes it won't result in any customer data being destroyed and will only encourage further extortion attempts. Millions of records have been compromised in the breach. Dentists are warning people not to turn to TikTok for ways to whiten their teeth. Stephen Liu from the Dental Association says many of the techniques involve caustic chemicals, which do more harm than good.
If you're using these techniques, you're often going to cause yourself irreversible damage. And yes, it might be to the gum, but often it's to the tooth. Once you've done that, you can't go back, and you're going to end up, unfortunately, paying more in the long run to seek professional dental care to fix what you've tried yourself.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Port are feeling a renewed confidence heading into the Gather round. Trent McKenzie has told the 5AA Sports Show returning to the winners list against Sydney has sent a message to those calling for Ken Hinkley to fall on his sword.
You know, we've always had full support of Ken, and, you know, the last few weeks we haven't been at our best, and we know that, and we knew we had to respond against a pretty tough outfit, and we always knew it was going to be a tough game. But, yeah, I think everyone was pretty excited and pretty happy that the result went our way.
This weekend, the Power play the Western Bulldogs. The club says Orazio Fantasia is the only player not in the mix for selection as he recovers from a quad strain. Well, Collingwood's Jack Crisp has avoided suspension over a controversial video on social media from 5 years ago after being questioned by the AFL Integrity Unit. He's been ordered to undertake an education program. Crisp has apologised for his behaviour.
I don't condone the actions of what I presented. Myself and Michaela worked for this privately 4 or 5 years ago. Since then I've done a number of years of work, grown myself as a person to be a better father, husband and a better role model at the football club.
And 40 years after his mother won at Bells Beach, Aussie Ethan Ewing has served his way to the trophy for the first time. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Kerry Gully, got a truck broken down. It's on the freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road, left-hand lane blocked. Parafield Gardens, car has gone into a pole there, Lovelock Road near Whites Road, and Prospect, look out for a twisted traffic light, Regency Road near Prospect Road. Busy right now, Cross Road at Unley Road, and look out for cameras, Bartley Terrace, Westlake Shore, and Crittenden Road at Finton. Aussie owned, the lottery office has a massive $661 million up for grabs in the USA Mega Lotto. Visit lotteryoffice.com.au now before it's gone. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers tonight down to 16, a shower or two tomorrow 21, cloudy Thursday 21 and a sunny morning Friday 26. Right now it's 21 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, the stage is set for the AFL's first ever Gather round. Tonight, just how big it'll be for South Australia. See the moment a man's leap from the law ended with a broken leg, the wallet-sized card that protects you from hackers, and a link between a lack of sleep and cognitive decline in middle-aged men. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News, tonight at 6.
Tax time is Triton time at Agostino Mitsubishi. Your new Triton is ready for immediate delivery, no waiting. And how's this for peace of mind? Get a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing on the entire Mitsubishi range. Don't muck around. Tax time is coming, so make the most of it. Get behind the wheel of a new Triton ready for immediate delivery from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
Hi, it's me, your lawn. On behalf of lawns everywhere, a reminder not to ignore us this autumn. We'll make it worth your while.
It takes more than mowing and watering to make your lawn barefoot ready. It takes Yates Weed and Feed.
G'day, Tom Wren here. Why not kick off your gather round activities with a fun night out with your mates at the Dogs on Thursday? Chaser's Restaurant is offering a full a la carte menu to ensure you have a fantastic night out. Chips, wedges, or classics like burgers, fish and chips, schnitties and steaks. So grab your mates and get to the park to watch those dogs go. Every Thursday night at Angle Park Greyhounds. Gamble responsibly, 1-800-858-858.
Okay, whether you've got a car, bus or truck, window, side door glass, back glass, whether it's smashed, cracked or chipped, Don't mess around. Call Complete Windscreens. Timmy, the number again.
8269 4444.
Treaders, I can't believe that he knows that. Oh, sorry, Treaders isn't on yet, but this is completely...
8269 4444.
4444.
Pretty hard to remember that one.
Odd years, the family-owned SA company, owned by Lindsay and Hayden Dean. They're absolute legends, these boys. They've got me
You
out
put
the
them
back
into
stalls
the
again.
Windscreens Hall of Fame, haven't you?
Oh, well, actually, they'd make it on there, Pat
would.
Malone. They are just absolute legends in the industry. Everyone comes from all over the state to see us to get things done, whether it's a chip repaired, $99.
Gee.
You might do some tint. You sent a couple of your mates
Yes,
in for
I have.
tints. You
Do you look after us?
$180.
Well, I
We
do.
do.
Good.
We do.
Good.
We'd even
that's all
look
you
after
ask.
you, Treaders.
Oh, I don't know
That's
about that.
all we'd ask. Hey, if you've got insurance, you can pick your insurance company of
Correct.
repair. You can pick them. So pick Complete Windscreens. There's no one better. We're South Australian owned.
Yes.
All our competitors aren't.
Yeah.
Bugger them.
Look
Give
up.
us a call.
Yeah, the South Aussies.
CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Call
8269 4444.
Let New Zealand take your breath away on an exclusive 17-day getaway with Holiday Wonders Mitcham. Fly direct from Adelaide with Air New Zealand and experience the best of what the North and South Islands have to offer, with meals, accommodation and so much more included, and more highlights than any comparable New Zealand trips. Right now, it's our best value ever. Save up to $980 per couple. Call now or visit holidaywonders.com.au. Holiday Wonders, Belair Road, Mitcham.
Our monuments to life are so important. That's why Adelaide Memorials offers a memorial and monument restoration service. Specialising in marble and granite memorials, Adelaide Memorials can repair, add and match all inscriptions to existing memorials, including cleaning and repainting. Adelaide Memorials can also upgrade current headstones with photos, candle holders, bronze plaques and embellishments to complete your loved one's memorial. Keep their memory fresh and alive. Visit adelaideMemorials.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
11 after 5, a little bit of John Farnham. We have Gather Round tickets, another 4-day double pass to give away this hour, so looking forward to that. And Graham Corn's coming up, all thanks to BL Shipway. But it's time to introduce our next guest, Warren Treadray, thanks to Waveville Mitsubishi. They're driven by Australian Motors.
Throws it up long, goal square, Treadray!
Warren Treadray.
The Premiership Cup to the captain, Warren Treadray. Oh, Treadray! Party time!
On the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, he's back and wearing a nice jumper there too,
Sorry,
Treaders.
Tim.
Yeah.
What colour is that? It's pink.
Salmon?
Yeah, what's
No,
salmon?
it's pink.
Salmon.
Proud
yeah.
pink.
Good.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with
Excellent.
that,
Fred
is
Perry?
Yeah,
Is that a brand?
I don't think you pull it off.
Hey,
Just
mate, I
right.
reckon last week you were wearing that exact top.
I've got
I
four
hope
of
you've
them.
washed it. You got four of them.
Four.
You're one of those blokes
They
who
got
just rolls them
complete
out.
windscreens. Yeah, exact same.
Oh, dear.
Come on,
Now,
mate.
Treaders, where would you like to start? Tough, gritty win on Saturday night.
Yeah, if I'm completely frank, I didn't think Port would win. I think we said as we came on air on Saturday night, it's the game that Port could win if they. It's an emotional response win. That's what I see it, because over the journey they've had those challenges, and don't worry, it was a challenge last week.
Yeah.
There was no hiding from the fact, from a club's point of view, selection point of view, they made changes. Did I agree with all of them? No, I'm not a coach, doesn't really matter. But they came out, and I don't think they played well, but they won.
It was
like, I look at what Warner did, scary. Like Sydney midfielder, star.
Good player.
But they were cleaner than, Sydney were cleaner than Port, but Port just found a way to hang in. And they found a way to hang in like the Port people want to see. They scrapped, they found a way, and you look at Pau Pepper's goal, I reckon in the second or third quarter by memory, snap over the head, had to be reviewed 85 times because the umpires didn't have a good night. We'll get to that in a minute. But it just, they took their chances. I thought Finlayson was sensational. He kicked 3 goals, was brilliant. Contested mark, he was probably one of the only on the ground that could do it at the time. I thought it was Butter's best game for the club. And that is, I think he's a talented young player. He made an All-Australian 40 a few years ago, but he went into the midfield. He was Port's best player, and he changed it. Dixon hit to him. When they needed a stoppage goal, he delivered. He had that Energizer bunny about him, but he didn't have the, some of the, as he's been working himself back from that serious ankle, he's sort of drifted in and out of games. And I think this kid is as talented, if not could be better than Connor Rozee. We will not know. But he is, I hold him that high to a stage that I actually thought that's as good as I'd seen him play a game of footy for Port.
Better than Aliir.
No, I thought Aliir was. Don't get me wrong. I thought Aliir was
outstanding.
sensational too.
Mm.
Aliir was sensational. But I think there are only probably 4 or 5 really dominant players for Port. I thought Aliir was brilliant. I thought his match saving on the line was brilliant. I'd given up. I thought Port had lost. I know Florent was celebrating, and I thought it's all gone. I'd thrown the toys out the cot.
Well, I've got to say on the Foodland text, John from Glenelg called me a bubble-headed booby.
What is
for
that?
my call of the last minute.
is that?
Well, he barracks for Sydney, and he said, well, when you called the last shot, he said, my fist went up, and I thought, you're a beauty, we've won.
Off the boot, it was in.
Oh, yeah.
And then it died.
Yeah, and you know what? Sydney will review that and go, why didn't we have anyone on the line? Why didn't we have someone playing on Aliir? Because if that was the other way around, we'd be talking about that here. Dylan Williams, I thought, was brilliant. I had real concerns of him playing half-back. He's not a quick player. He's super smart, uses the ball beautifully on his left side. But his positioning and his ability to be competitive, and I've only ever seen him in one AFL game, and he looked like he wasn't ready. He was a small forward and struggling to cover the ground. He was cramping and struggling.
Taking him 18 months to get back.
But he played on Heaney, he played at parts on Papley, when he should have been beaten for speed or skill, and he found a way. So I reckon that was a big
Took a
selection.
really courageous mark running back too. I love that.
And Dersma, I thought he was a good player too. Yeah. Dersma was good, especially air assist in defence when they needed it. When Port were under the pump, he delivered.
I thought McKenzie was vital back there. I think you used, what was the word you used? More assured.
They look more assured with him there. A lot of Foodland texts are saying Port wouldn't have won if the McCartan boys both didn't go down.
Oh, that was cool.
They were two big downs.
They're massive downs. But this is the question you can't answer. If you ask if Aliir wasn't in the team with Port have won, is that the equivalent?
Yeah. Well,
then you go maybe, but you can't measure it.
They won.
Yeah, they won. And they won because no one remembers who plays and doesn't play. And to credit of Sydney, they were up for a long period of time. And if I look at Sydney's game, I go, Buddy Franklin's miss on three-quarter time was probably the difference.
I'm with you.
A couple other undisciplined free kicks. We can go to the umpiring, and I'm a person who doesn't whack umpires, but that is the most disgusting performance I've seen in a long time.
They were woeful.
And just
but
some of
the
the ones.
AFL sign off those two bad decisions?
Yeah, like
the Houston one, they said that was the right
The
call.
reviews were horrendous. Right? The Laddam's play on when he moved his top part of his body but not his legs was called play on. Goal. Port got a goal. Houston walks it through the points under pressure. That's apparently okay. That was deliberate. And Finlayson's goal at the end when he got the 50 from Warner was actually, when he took the mark, was inside the zone at running at 25 k's an hour. What do you? It just lost common sense.
Okay. Has this win left egg on your face, Treaders, after last week's comments? Untenable. They played for Ken, didn't they?
Well, they had a crack. Yeah, it was an emotional response. Absolutely. Do I? No.
Do you regret saying what you said last week?
No, because you know what? I don't think anyone's listened to exactly what I said last week.
Okay.
People have gone, and I've had this discussion with an ex-teammate of mine. They haven't even listened to it. They don't like the bad PR around their club, but I guarantee you, next to no one who's got a problem with it has actually listened to that. But that's fine. But does it have egg on my face? No, because Port win. Do I think it is a situation where the coach is treading water? And I've never seen a season where a coach enters the season effectively knowing there's unlikely a chance to get re-signed. Tell me another case.
Oh, well, they're rare.
Well, probably last year, Leon Cameron.
Potentially, but not to a situation that you're almost with it. It had already been 6 months before of speculation. So my situation is not just on Port, it's the decision-making, the board, the ruthlessness, where the club's at, and listening to the fans. It's not about just nailing a coach. My point is my whole 20 minutes of what I thought where my club is at. And I get that's confronting to people, but I stand by everything I said.
Yeah, that's okay. Caro heard the whole podcast. Have a listen to her.
Now, we're all guilty of going early at times, but after 3 rounds, this seemed like a pretty big statement. Surely April is far too early to be appointing a caretaker coach or any new coach, for that matter. But by Thursday on 5AA, Warren seemed to have changed his tune.
Anyone you speak to, any fan that walking down Perry Street's going, Josh Carr's the next coach. You're in a situation where you're not doing your club the best interests, let alone the coach putting him under huge mental health and stress period, and you're just treading water. And that's why I flagged it.
Warren, talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy, or is it just coming to full circle? Surely the person who was putting Ken Hinkley under pressure was you. Just because you're disaffected with the board at the moment after that so-called rejection, and there seem to be some issues between yourself and other teammates, you just didn't make sense on Ken Hinkley.
Join the club, mate. Caro's arrow. I've had one.
Yeah,
she hit you right between the eyes.
With what she said then, I doubt she's listened to my whole podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So she can crack all I want with disassociated with the board. I don't like a lot of the decisions. All I did was call out the elephant in the room that a lot of people already know about in football. And by doing that, you put yourself at a task. But I didn't change my tact. I just talked about the human element and the stress. That stress is still there, whether I call it out or not.
That's true.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Koshy's on tomorrow with David and Will, 5AA Brekkie. I don't reckon he'll be able to help himself. He might have another crack at you.
Bring it on.
He might gaslight you again. What is gaslighting?
I don't really know.
You said he gaslighted you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's gaslighting?
When someone says to me, here's an example, you want to learn about Port Adelaide, what's that?
Okay. Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Timmy.
It's telling you,
I wouldn't
telling you
use
to
it
learn
in a
about
sentence.
something that...
No.
Do you want the definition?
I'm going to stay away from
There's
it.
multiple definitions.
To manipulate someone using psychological methods into questioning their own sanity or powers of reasoning. Verb.
Timmy does that to me every day, you gaslighter.
And I apologise. I didn't realise I was doing it.
So you stand by every comment, you haven't got egg on your face, and it's kept the wolves from the door, this win.
Well, the win certainly, because the club wasn't going to make a decision off back of what I said. I was just putting everything on the table.
Okay.
Do you think it's a nice and weak board if they bow to me, who has just had an opinion?
Pretty strong opinion.
Yeah, well, it's a strong opinion, and I believe in my opinion. But it doesn't. Even if I ever was a board member, not everyone decisions are made as a collective. And my point is to show the ruthlessness of the club going forward. Whether it's now or August or whatever, I still believe it's a difficult situation they find themselves in.
Well done, Treaders. We'll speak to you after the break.
We will. 21 after 5 is thanks to Wayville Mitsubishi, driven by Australian Motors. Let's check your traffic.
At Gawler, got a car V tree, 2 wells near Wilkinson Road. Kerry Gully, truck broken down there. Freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road, left-hand lane blocked. And Perrifield Gardens, car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Mile End. Also Marion Road at Anzac Highway intersection busy. And look out for cameras this afternoon. Port River Expressway, Wingfield and Robinson Road at Woodloo Corner. Get the Sportsbet same game multi-filling this AFL Gather Round. Combine multiple single bets for bigger odds. Make it a same game multi with Sportsbet. You win some, you lose more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowan and Timmy G.
Gather round, people, I'll tell you a story.
South Australia has a story to tell, so gather round, Australia. From the hills to the coast, our state is abuzz with a festival of football like you've never seen before. Every team from every state, and we welcome all visitors with open arms. It's all happening here in South Australia, and 5AA is your home for Gather Round.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond. It's home to the car that everyone is talking about, the Cherry Emotor 5. What a spectacular vehicle. It's light years ahead of everything in its class and starting from 33,000 drive away. It's got everything you dream of in a car. The tech is mind-blowing and it comes with a 5-star NCAP safety rating, 7-year factory warranty and fixed price servicing. If you're looking for a new car, you've got to go Cherry. Book a test drive at gocherry.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show. And Rosanna, what's the latest on that horrible racial slur on Isaac Rankin?
Yeah, it's absolutely appalling, isn't it, Tim? But the hunt for the online troll who targeted the Crows star is well underway. Players, of course, are rallying around him, but hear the coach's savage response too tonight. Also, a bungled getaway caught on camera. See the moment a suspect breaks his leg while trying to run from police at Gillis Plains. SA's prisons have been plunged into lockdown as hundreds of corrections officers walk off the job while they say they just don't have enough staff. Latitude Financial receives ransom demands from hackers, why it's refusing to pay up. The end is near. This is devastating for an iconic brand, why Tupperware is on the verge of collapse. How snoring could spell trouble for middle-aged men, plus the savvy South Aussies cashing in very big during Gather Round. All the details tonight, 7 News at 6.
Thanks, Rosanna, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice, 7 News tonight at 6.
We all need connection. Across this big brown land, our radio community keeps you connected, but sometimes you need more. If you're struggling, don't keep it to yourself. Head to commercialradio.com.au/voice. There's a collection of organisations, real people, ready and waiting to hear from you. If you know someone who needs help, use this moment to reach out, because sometimes all you need is a voice.
Head to commercialradio.com.au/voice.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 50 years' experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowan and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 after 5, Cornsey coming up shortly, and 5AA footy is all thanks to Rossdale Homes, the custom home 2-storey split-level specialist. Warren Tredrea is here for Wayville Mitsubishi.
Thank you very much, Treaders. Before the game, I got a little tip-off that Ken was going to coach from the bench.
I didn't believe you.
He did so, yeah. He did it for the whole game. I shared my experiences when I coached. I don't normally share a lot of those experiences, but
it's good to talk about things.
Yes, it is. It's good. It's therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went down on the bench, and what I found is that it calms you down. Because when you're in a box, sometimes you can lose it. And all coaches are pretty similar, and you can go right off. On the bench, you actually have a calming effect because you're in amongst the players, and you can't be seen to be doing that. Plus, there's a crowd behind you too. They don't want to see you going off your nana. So it calms you down a bit, and you get that one-on-one conversation. What you lose is the aerial view of what's happening. So you need, obviously, people communicating from upstairs, but you also need to go afterwards and watch the replay because it really is tough to see a lot of the play.
I found it was interesting given the week Port had. And when you said it, I thought, oh, no, they won't do that. Oh, that's interesting. Because what?
I liked
10 years of coaching. We saw it in a pre-season game, I reckon, in Freo.
Correct.
But I haven't seen Ken do that before. So I know Chris Davies had answered some questions that I think the Nine Network said that there was a set succession plan, and I think he whacked that out of the park. But then they got into the questioning of around what actually happened and how this came about. But it was a discussion, I believe, that happened during the week. So I was surprised because when they did the interview afterwards and all the adulation, excitement, Ken goes, I couldn't see how young Dylan Williams played. And I was like, wow. And I go, that makes sense because he's on the bench, and benches are absolute mayhem. But I wondered if that was, at the time, part of a new plan or an old plan, or in light of the week, whether he decided to be more hands-on, because whether you like it or not, that hands over a lot of what you're seeing reins to your assistant coaches.
Yep.
And a lot of that happens generally anyway, but I thought it was a big shift. And it'd be interesting to see what they do this week against the Bulldogs, whether it was a once-off or do you keep doing it. I know Simon Goodwin has always done it by memory.
Neil Craig.
Fagan
did it. Always, did he?
Fagan did it for a lot of his time, but now he's moved upstairs because he feels like he's done what he needed to do, especially with the younger players that he had. But he feels they're at a maturity level now that he can go back up.
Yeah, because effectively why you're seeing it, and my experiences of being in a box many years ago, was the senior coach sits there and gets all his info in from his line coaches or offense, defense, where it's more like now, and stoppage. So I just thought it was an interesting way, and it works. So I don't know why you wouldn't do it again this week if you're poor.
Well done. Gather round, exciting. Treaders, thanks for that.
No worries.
You can take your pink jumper and
drive on
Go
home.
to Gather Round.
Go to Gather Round.
Go to Gather Round. It's going to be awesome.
Wavell Mitsubishi, driven by Australian Motors. Explore the new showroom on Goodwood Road today. Bring you Warren Gary Treadray.
We'll be back on Friday, 29
Well done,
after
Treaders.
5. Graham Corns is going to sub in next, thanks to Bill Shipway.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
It's a particularly busy day for the fishmongers. As long as the queues might be, it's still better than being in one of Peter Malinowskis' ambulances.
Informing Adelaide.
Have a bit of a look at how the old Central Area Health Network's going, because it's going like a busted, It's the highest ever in history.
Yeah, they've reached new records, which wasn't quite the promise as I recall it, but then apparently there was an asterisk on the signs.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening. Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The two men charged with Stephen Murphy's murder have fronted court today. Two cattle owners from the mid-north have escaped jail after dozens of livestock were found dead, suffering and emaciated by RSPCA inspectors. US President Joe Biden is headed to Northern Ireland to mark the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement. And in sport, Aussie surfer Tyler Wright is now a back-to-back Bells champion after winning the Women's Rip Curl Pro final. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Gullah tree, 2 wells near Wilkinson Road. Kerrigully, truck broken down there. Freeway up truck near Old Kerrigully Road, left-hand lane blocked. And Parafield Gardens car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road. Busy at the moment, South Road at Marlin with cameras, Porter Expressway, Winkfield and Robinson Road at Waterloo Corner. Goodyear Auto Care are your tyre and auto experts for great tyre deals and great value car servicing. Call Goodyear Auto Care today on 132343. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast: showers tonight down to 16, a shower or two tomorrow 21. Right now it's 21 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Need an electrician and need one today? Ken Hall Electricians do it all. From lighting, power points and appliance installation to a full house rewire. No job is too big or small. Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians, 8364 5855.
Saying goodbye can be heartbreaking, but we see things differently. Our new litter of puppies need love and care before they start school to become a guide or assistance dog. Yes, one day you'll have to say goodbye, knowing that someone in need will have their life changed forever. RSB is now called See Differently, and we ask you to do the same. If you love helping others, please go to seedifferently.org.au to help raise a puppy and change a life.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. Good leaders always look to support local, like Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in South Australia. Having a world-class manufacturer of computers is a big win for our state, providing jobs and local support you simply can't get from overseas companies. For the latest Intel and Microsoft-based computers at great pricing with the huge benefit of local support, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
5:33, Studs in the building. Treaders has just walked out. And Studs bought us by BL Shipway. Look, it's a South Australian institution.
Yes.
We know that. It's looked after our SA hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. They've got the best industry standards. Ryco, Bosch, Rexroth, Enerpac, IDAC, Allpath, Easy Fit and much more. Actually, Timmy, they've got a big show on.
Chippy's got a show at West Adelaide Football Club. It's going to be this Friday, 12 to 3. And have a listen to this for guests. Roo.
The great
Rory
Roo.
Laird,
Rory
Isaac Rankin and Riley Thilthorpe. How's that? All West Adelaide products.
Stud will talk about that too. They've got plenty of stock at their 217 Richmond Road. They've got a team of experts ready to help you out. Remember, BL Shipway's state-of-the-art workshop will take care of all your equipment your servicing repairs. They've got those Ryco 247 mobile hose repair vans. Support a great company. Support a great man. The Shippies. BL Shipway, an absolute place to go. 217 Richmond Road or blshipway.com.au.
What if your next holiday was always parked just outside the front door? Dave Benson Caravans sell your next holiday, and unlike an expensive overseas holiday, your dollar remains as an asset, your caravan. With over 120 new or used caravans and campers on display under one roof, the DBC Caravan professionals can tailor your next family holiday to your lifestyle and needs. Your Australian journey awaits and begins at Dave Benson Caravans, 64 Grand Junction Road, Kilburn.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 26 minutes to 6. We still, before 6 o'clock, have your chance to get to Gather Round with a 4-day double pass to get to every Adelaide Oval game this week. All you have to do is work out the 4 club songs that we're going to mash up momentarily and play to you. So we're going to give that away before 6 o'clock. But it's time to welcome Graham Corns, all thanks to BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
He's kicked in the man on the mark. Oh, down they go. Carmen pushing Corns' face into the mud.
Graham Studley Corns.
Yes, Graham Corns in the building now. I've been told a little update from from Mouse over in Perth. He reckons 200,000 tickets now sold for Gather Round. Graham?
Before we start anything, I want to send a cheer out to Alfie Skews. Little Alfie Skews, because he was a star for South Adelaide in the premiership year, and he was won the Bay Chef. He was
one of the great characters. You did a conversation with him.
One of the really nice ones I've done. Yeah. He hasn't been great lately, Alfie, but he's faced bigger challenges and he's fought them off, and he'll do the same.
Come on, Alfie.
All the best, Alfie.
So, Alfie,
we're with you, Alfie.
He's one of those lovable ex-footballers, and good bowler, like a lawn bowler. Very good at that. Good cricketer. So, Alfie, come on, get up, mate.
Yeah, good one. But Gather Round, what about that?
What was the question?
It was. I just said. Your mate Mouse, who you coached, he reckons there's 25 planes coming from Perth now.
Wow.
But 200,000 tickets, they reckon, are sold.
I'm definitely over Mouse. He rings every Saturday morning. Mouse, give it a break.
Yeah.
Am I warming to it? I don't know.
This is massive.
Surely you are.
I am warming to it.
Good.
I just did. I didn't like it because it's just thrust into the season willy nilly.
Oh, right.
Well, can you imagine in the NBA or the NFL over there? Just we've got our program. Oh no, let's just have another round.
They did it before the fixture came out.
Yeah, they did.
It was planned. It's an extra game.
Anyway, it's very exciting. All the Victorians and interstate people here, and hope the weather clears for them because we do want to showcase the state.
do. Correct.
I was down at Glenelg this morning. There were a lot of people around. I thought, gee,
we want the vibe.
If they could see this when the sun was out, the sun was shining. Okay. There's no better beach in Australia when you think about it. So. If the weather clears, we can't control the weather, but it'll be good. Look, and yes, I'm warming to it. Looking forward to it. Doing it. KG and I are doing the OB from Mount Barker on Saturday morning.
Yeah, rug up, puffer jacket.
He won't find his way up there.
Yeah, you better take him there.
Get him on the bike.
15 mil of rain.
But he want to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm not getting there at 6.
Can we talk about the Crows?
We certainly can.
Port. How good were they?
Fantastic. I just enjoyed watching it. It was just a sheer delight.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of what changed. Well, they've always been competitive around the ball.
Correct.
When they're on, they're desperate. You can see making the contest. But their ground level pressure was absolutely something else this time. So their forward-line structure set up pretty well. They weren't trying to fit in 3 talls.
No.
They didn't try and do that. Phil Thorpe and Taylor Walker
with Gallant.
Gallant worked. Well, we'll talk about changes they might.
Yeah,
have
we will
in a second. But their frenetic forward line pressure was fantastic. They got numbers around the ball, so there was that. And then their midfield structure was just a little bit moving the captain into the midfield. No, he's not. He's tall. He's not a big-bodied midfielder in the manner of Cripps or Bontempelli. But, gee, he knows how to find the ball, and when he gets it, he just uses it so beautifully. So those two things were terrific. The defence stood up pretty well. I mean, I'm more and more amazed every time I see young Michael Annie play. I thought they played him too early, to be quite frank.
Really?
Well, he hasn't disappointed.
Well, I thought he was too early. I mean,
he'd have to get a rising start.
He hasn't played a bad game, has he?
Well, he stood Shea Bolton against Richmond.
Yep.
He stood Sonny Walters on the weekend and did a good job on both of those. Plus, his intercept marking is good, and but what I really like was he's taken his give. You don't always notice that when there's frantic play around the place, but his hands are good. He takes and gives quickly. So no, I'm really. And if he's not the rising star, has it been announced, Sam?
Not yet. But he will get one. Can they sustain it?
This is the problem. Mm-hmm. This is the problem. When have the Crows been most vulnerable?
After a win?
After a win. After a good win, when they, said, how good are we?
Well, that's 2 wins, though.
Yeah, but they can't afford that. Yeah, they can't afford that.
They can't afford it, but it's that little voice inside that says we're going okay. Maybe I don't have to put my head over the ball this time. Maybe I don't have to get through the contest.
Well, there's pressure from underneath that they got to.
Well, that's...
We'll get to that. But Jake Saligo.
Yeah. I know exactly what happened.
What happened?
Because it was a contested ball in the goal square and it looked like it could have been pushed through, he got a toe to it. And the umpire might have, as he's run past with his excitement.
Did you see that?
He's grabbed the umpire and said, "Did you see that?" Basically, he's mate, "Did you see that?" It's the sort of thing you do with your mates all the time. Yeah. Now, people are saying he should have got a game for 2, 3. That's ridiculous. This is an exuberant young man. He made a mistake. You can't touch umpires, but you have to look at the context.
Correct.
And the context was he just had to make sure that the umpire knew that it was a goal. They had to do a review. They did a review, but it was clearly a goal, and he wanted to make sure the umpire. Did you see it?
Yeah. $1,500 fine, which is appropriate. Well,
fair enough, because it sends a message, and So what does Jeremy Cameron get? Well, what does the umpire get for running into Jeremy Cameron?
That's exactly right. There's no charge to date.
Do the umpires get charged for running into players?
They should do.
I think
that was that lad's fault.
No, look,
what was he thinking?
It was an accident.
Well, it was an accident. Okay.
And luckily, no one was hurt. But
let's get to this. Crows in 2 days' time have Carlton. McAdam's back. Fogarty should be back. Berry's available and Pedler from suspension.
Okay, so there's 4 areas we've got to look at. McHenry came in for Pedler.
Was outstanding.
Does Pedler come back?
Not in front of McHenry, no.
Ned McHenry was fantastic.
Wasn't he?
Because he brought it.
Best game for the club.
He was one of those players who brought that frantic forward line pressure. Because
with Murph.
Showed some vision last night on Channel 7 where there's 4. They just didn't let up. They're like a pack of dogs, really. If you
good analogy.
I hope you're okay with that analogy, but they just didn't stop. There was 2 smothers. Tex took a goal, but on the other side, similarly, they just outnumbered them. So I don't think Pedler can put out McHenry.
No,
as much as we like Pedler.
No,
McAdam and Gallant. Gallant has done nothing wrong, but he hasn't done anything spectacular. I think McAdam comes back
instead of Fogarty. Won't Fogarty come in for Gallant?
Yeah, that's not That's not the.
Well, it's not like for like.
That's not the balance.
Because Gallant came in for McAdam, but Fogg's got to come back in.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out where.
Well, it'll be for Gallant.
So you're going to play 3 talks.
I think they want to get
3 talks when they were so. They had 2 talks.
I'm with you. I think they're keen to see Fogg, Tex, and Thilthorpe in that front.
I think they'd be more keen to see a win.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
And we've the balance on the weekend was terrific.
I thought
their talls and their smalls, and the smalls were the difference.
They were.
So you can answer. So this isn't. We don't have to do it. They get paid the big bucks to make these decisions. But how could you keep Fogarty out? You can't keep Fogarty out. But what do you do with him? Does he?
He's going to have to get in there.
So I think McAdam comes back in for
Gallant.
Okay. Berry.
Well.
Berry comes in maybe for
Berry out, Dawson went to the midfield.
I know.
You ain't moving Dawson and Rory Sloane from the midfield.
No, you're not. But I think...
So he might have to go back through the sample.
No, I think probably Berry comes back in and maybe
Schomburg.
Okay. As much as we like him, because he's doing everything right to get back in. So then we get to the Fogarty issue. Well, Fogarty came in for Thilthorpe. You're not putting Thilthorpe out now.
No.
You're not doing that.
I love Thilthorpe's game of the weekend.
He loved it. His take below his knees, his hands were good. He looked confident with his marking. So this is not an easy team to select.
No, which is good.
This is good, but I just hope that. Look, I know Fogarty will come back in.
Would you put Pedler in over top of Keys?
Oh, gee, Ben Keys plays with heart. No, I think Keys stays in.
He's starting to get a bit wobbly.
Oh, come on, Rowie. You don't. You've got a set. You do have a bit of a set against him.
Well, no. I'll word it like this.
Please be honest. You do have a bit of a set against him.
No, I do.
Right.
I do. I do, because he doesn't use the ball well, and he doesn't give the first give, and I think sometimes he can be a bit selfish. So there, I've said it.
Okay.
And I've said it to him, and that's the facts. You just watch. I think the Crows, when the Crows are starting to look like a top 8 team, it's the Keys types that won't be in that team. Because the Pedlers, the Berries, and then have jumped over top the Chase. Chase Jones has to stay in that team.
Oh, I haven't put his name down.
No.
I haven't put him under. No, he stays there.
No. So I think the team is looking great when those sort of players are under pressure.
Well, we'll see how they go. I mean, it sort of makes sense, but if you're picking players on heart and desperation and
he's
run
got all of that.
And 110%, he's got that.
He's got all of that.
It's very
hard.
And
it's one of the leaders.
It's very hard to drop somebody when they've got that. So, look, it's going to be a really interesting select. Is it tomorrow?
They'll select tomorrow. They play Thursday.
Tomorrow. Only got 2 sleeps, Graham, till the game.
That's the other thing. A couple of days less break than Carlton got. Look, I'm going to pick the Crows, but maybe just from the sentimental point of view, passionate point of view, I think.
Well, if that Harry Mackay's out, now he's up at the tribunal as we speak. What's the update?
It's still going. They're submitting evidence, so there's bits and pieces still to go.
He'll get off.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I bet you he will.
He'll get off.
So he kicked 4, Curnow kicked 6. There's 10 goals. That's their whole game right there.
Doherty also out.
And that's where the Crows. Who was subbed out last week? Who was subbed out? Come on.
Was it Butts?
Butts. Jordan Butts, the tall defender. This is the area where the Crows could be vulnerable. If you've got 2 really good tall forwards, they've been in trouble before.
They did have one, but he's playing for Collingwood.
Oh, tell me about that.
Rightio,
don't mention it.
We'll ask you about that and more after the break here, Graham, for the Shipway.
You know what we're also going to do after the break, and we're going to set it up now, because we gave away some tickets earlier.
Let's do it.
We're going to do it again right now. Some tickets to gather round, a 4-day double pass to all the Adelaide Oval games. If you can identify these 4 club songs, have a listen.
Cheer, cheer.
All right, 8223.
You're a bit more generous then. Well,
0055. It's a little bit longer. If you can identify those 4 clubs, you will win your way. Let's get to the traffic.
At Gawler, got a Carvey truck, 2 woes near Wilkinson Road. Kerry Gully, truck broken down there. Freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road, left-hand lane blocked. And Parafield Gardens, car has gone into a pole, Lovelock Road near Whites Road. Busy at the moment, South Road as you're driving through Theberton, with the camera McIntyre Road at Salisbury East. Get fresh, delicious Wok in a Box at OTR. Enjoy a Pad CU for just $9.95 today. Eat in or take away. OTR. Making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
David, it's almost here. Gather Round hits SA from the 13th to the 16th of April, and together with Macca's, we can get you there in style.
All this week, we've got your chance to win exclusive locker room tickets to check out the biggest games at Adelaide Oval, including food and drinks.
It's one of the best places to watch the footy, so for your chance to be in the locker room, keep listening to Breakfast on 5AA, your home of Gather Round.
All thanks to Macca's, official partners of the AFL Gather Round. Kick your way down to Footy Festival to grab your Macca's Sharon footy. I'm loving it.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Emotor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price, and almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry?
Yes, I'm here.
Open sunroof.
Got it. It's opening.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Emoda 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
With power prices continuing to soar, Solar Heart is helping smart Australians soak up more sunshine, store more energy, and save more money on every bill. And right now, you can save up to $1,000 on Solar Heart solar power systems, including our new high-performance 415-watt silhouette panels. The bigger the system, the bigger the saving. So don't settle for soaring power prices. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, some builders might look at a sloping block and think, oh, this is a bit hard, I'm not sure about this. They might even tell you, go and find a flat one, it's much easier for us. Nah, well, we're not going to do that because you know what? It could cost you a lot more. But when Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, all they can think of is all the amazing possibilities.
They do. They get excited. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in it. I should know. The team at Beechwood, they'll design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every square metre, and they do it right. They just do it so well. So if you've got a sloping block or a sloping block that, you know, is on your piece of land and you think, oh, should I get it or shouldn't I? Ring Beechwood Homes. Just do it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
You want to shut out the wind and rain in winter, or the sun, flies and mozzies in summer, but you don't want to sacrifice your view. Then you need Phantom Screens. For protection from sun, wind and rain all year round, Phantom's SA-made outdoor motorised blinds can span up to 12 metres wide. They offer effortless automation, a blind that's there 1 minute and gone the next. From the hills to the coast and everywhere in between, choose Phantom Screens. Get inspired online at phantomscreens.com.au.
Look around your house and yard. If you see old tools, broken bike frames, an old fridge and even that old car, don't look at it as junk, look at it as dollar signs. At Nor Metals, our priority is to give you the best value for your scrap metal disposal. We offer cash for scrap Monday to Friday and Saturday mornings for a range of different steel supplies and car components, including bodies and radiators. Get cash for your scrap at Nor Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottaway.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
10 to 6, all thanks to BL Shipway. Graham Corns is here.
The Stud. Now, Stud, have you heard about the Victorians, the VFL people over there? They want Collingwood and St Kilda moved immediately to the MCG.
I knew that would happen. Yeah. I knew they'd look at it.
Just hold your thoughts there, Graham. We've got all these callers lined up for the competition.
Oh, well, they
gather around. They can't wait.
I want Stud to pot the VFL.
He will in a minute.
Pot them quickly. Yeah. Go on. How do you feel?
Just look. Football is played outside of Victoria.
You come on.
Rhymes with banker.
Yeah.
But, so let us have our moment in the sun.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
Timmy's
gather around.
Tommy.
4-day double pass to give away. It's the last one for tonight. We'll have more during the week, but you've got to identify these 4 club songs.
Cheer, cheer.
Right.
Beautiful. We got Eugene on the line. Eugene, can you name the 4 clubs?
Oh, geez. Let's see. Before that, I'm with you, Graham. Give them St Kilda, Collingwood. We'll have the interstate grand finals over here when they come up. So I reckon Sydney, Collingwood, Melbourne, and West Coast.
You got 2, Eugene.
Gosh,
good work, Dude. Got 50%. G'day, Daniel.
First.
G'day, boys. How you going?
Okay, buddy. We got 50% there. What do you reckon the 4 clubs are?
I'll give you Melbourne, the Kangas, Sydney, and Brisbane, boys.
Oh, yeah, I've got a you,
Dan, the man.
In order. 100% correct, Daniel. Congratulations, mate.
Brilliant.
You and a mate going to gather round.
Yeah, good. I'll probably have to take the wife. She's a Collingwood fan, unfortunately. So I just won't. I might maybe take someone else.
Who's your team, Dan?
A Crows fan, Rowie.
Good on you. Gee, you got a good set of ears. Demons, North Sydney Lions.
Bang.
Look, when Dad's been taking you to footy park since you were 1, you get used to the theme songs, let me tell you. But, yeah, good.
Very keen,
good
boys.
on you, Daniel.
Well played,
Thanks
mate.
for that,
Good
mate.
job.
You're off.
Congratulations.
More chances tomorrow.
Okay. Now, Stud,
Yes.
the Port game.
Yes, Steve.
Aliir kept them in it.
Oh, wasn't like, I mean, I don't care whether you're back from Port Adelaide or not. It was just the most
was.
amazing way to finish.
It was.
And I listened to 3 times to Timmy's call. Like, oh, it's gone through. It's gone through. It's just,
And then let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
Hang on, I've got to
Come on.
Wait,
Come on,
here,
get it,
here it
Sammy.
is. Here it is.
This is a vital kick for Florent. This is vital. He has nailed it. He has nailed it.
Hang on,
Hang on,
hang
has
on.
it?
It hasn't made the distance.
It didn't make the distance. They thought it was over. And it's been marked by Bergman. What scenes we've seen. Aliir knows it.
You've gone from total despair
Oh, yeah.
to jubilation.
The tone changed, there's no doubt about it. Can I say?
You were out the office, you were
Oh,
gone.
yeah. Man's not a rock. He's got feelings, Sam. You don't have to keep
Now,
playing.
you could write the script. People say you couldn't write the script, but you could write the script, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't think of that. But like Port Adelaide hit the front, 90 seconds to go, and then bang, they clear it out of their defence. Somehow it comes back. 2 really good kicks, and he's taken them, and he's got the kick. Siren goes, and off the boot, it's a goal every day of the week. Off the boot, it's a goal every, and then
The wind held it up.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Aliir spoilt it.
yeah. Anyway, but the vision of
Florent.
Florent. Because he thinks he's done it. So off he runs and he collapses on the ground in jubilation. And you can see, I'm not sort of dancing on his grave or anything, but you can see a bit later on, he looks up and he mouths the word, what's happened?
What's
happened?
What's the Daffy Duck?
He couldn't believe it himself.
How's the sheer pride and relief on Ken's face from the week he had?
It would have been look as strong and as stoic as you need to be, because coaches are going to be under pressure all the time. He was under extreme pressure, so it was a release, but it's only a temporary release.
Yeah.
You've still got to be able to do it.
The Wolves are still.
What did you
there.
think about the move to the bench?
Yeah, that's okay. Look, it's interesting. In the old days, we always used to coach from the bench.
Yeah.
And then we moved up because you got a better idea, but you didn't have quite the same connection with the players, and I think that's why they're doing it.
I remember your connection once with Peter Carey on the bench.
What was that story?
We were 5
we're having a blue.
We were 5 goals down, and I said, "Look, you've got to get Super off." He comes off, and he's bluing with me, like, because we're not just a coach and player; we're ex-teammates.
Premiership teammates.
What'd you take
Dear
me off for? I
mates.
said, mate, well, we're getting smashed in there. And then 15 minutes later, we're 2 goals in front. And I said, that's why I did. That's why I took you off.
Oh, jeez. He only played for one of the greats. Hey, we'll go to Glenelg North. Jeff, you want to ask Stud a question?
Yeah, before I do that, can I, at the end of the suggestion, I'd like to comment on the umpiring on Saturday night. It's a good point, I think you'll find.
You don't
The
have
main
to.
reason for calling, presuming that Fogarty is fit, 95%, and he's in the team, but not positioned where I'm going to suggest, even though another famous ex-Crows coach has already suggested it, I've been told. Fogarty in the centre, right? If we're kicking with the wind and there is a bit of a breeze, in the centre right from the start, and
wow, straight in the guts.
Yeah, look, I don't mind. I've made that suggestion several times before, Jeff, where we throw him into the centre when they need a big body. I don't necessarily think it has to be when you're kicking with the breeze, but from time to time, I think he'd be good in the centre because he does have that big body. But at the moment, when they've moved their captain in there, Dawson in there, it's limited. It limits the
Midfield
numbers.
mix is right. We won't talk about the umpiring Saturday because I'll get called a basher. BL Shipway's been looking after hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953, Stud. Now, they've got a big show on Friday.
West Adelaide, well, they're sponsoring the West Adelaide Footy Club.
Shippy's a big...
This Friday, Mark Rasciuto is interviewing
the Rory
Thilthorpe, Rory Laird and Isaac Rankin.
Three
going to be a
West Adelaide
very
games.
interesting week to interview, and particularly after the game will have been played the night before. So support West Adelaide and BL Shipway, great supporters of the West Adelaide Footy Club, and I've got a bit of an update on the renovations.
How are they going?
And the move.
Oh, for BL Shipway.
Which we're not allowed to mention the move.
We're not.
But But they're coming on very nicely.
They're on Richmond Road.
They're going to move to... I don't know. They're going to move to... Did I say Morford Road?
Yeah, brand new, state of the art. They'll send a Ryco 247 van your way, be or ship way. They're absolute greats for 70 years. Stud, well done. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, boys. Good luck.
Our pleasure.
Thanks, Graham.
Excellent.
Right,
It
you
is
are.
2 minutes to 6. We're going to take a break for the news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
If you're building a home, the Selector Homes Display Village is a great place to start. Your ideas and imagination will flow. There's nothing else quite like it in Adelaide. Different homes for different lifestyles, all in the one location. Walk through the sanctuary. It's simply stunning, with an incredible Jarrah facade, polished concrete floors, and a sensational use of space. Explore the Selector Homes and Building Solutions Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton. Visit selectorhomes.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. More and more South Australians are taking control of their energy bills with solar and battery storage. In fact, Australians are taking up battery storage in record numbers because they're sick of rising power bills and being locked into a system where someone else calls the shots. The other huge bonus of going with NRG Solar and battery storage is that you'll be protected from blackouts with an uninterrupted power supply. Take control. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Now, I can't believe it. I know it's hard to believe, but Biurban bathrooms and kitchens may not be everybody's cup of tea. Now, if you're not fussed about sticky drawers or not driven mad by looking at something that doesn't quite line up, if you don't appreciate millimetre perfect craftsmanship, well, service of the highest standard, then maybe Biurban bathrooms and kitchens not for you. But if those things are important and you want to live with a kitchen and a bathroom that you'll adore for many years to come, put massive value in your house, then speak to David Cox and the incredible team at Biurban Bathrooms and Kitchens. They're legends. And remember, it's not just about the amazing result, it's how you get there that really sets Biurban Bathrooms and Kitchens apart from everybody else. Biurban.com.au, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 21. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. 2 men charged over the murder of Stephen Murphy fronted court today. The missing man's body was found during a search of a Cuddler property last week. The alleged murder has been described as a cold-blooded execution. The 19-year-old and his 46-year-old father remain in custody. The younger of the two's application for bail denied. The pair will front court again in October. All South Australian prisons were locked down this morning in response to government inaction over safe staffing. The Public Service Association took the action after repeatedly having its concerns ignored by the Department and Minister for Correctional Services. Since the state Labor government came to power last year, the PSA has been calling on it to take decisive action on prison staffing levels. An electrical fault has sparked a house fire at Manopara West. The alarm was raised on Sarah Candice Court shortly before 10 this morning. Gemma Chenoweth from the CFS says 3 rooms were well alight when crews arrived.
Although losses are estimated at $70,000, over $200,000 of property has been saved, including a classic car. The owner of the property managed to evacuate safely and was not injured.
The Treasurer says he's confident but not complacent as he prepares to hand down the federal budget next month. Jim Chalmers is heading to the US this week for talks with global finance ministers and central bank governors. The meetings will be a key influence on the upcoming budget. Mr Chalmers says he's managing many competing pressures on the nation's finances.
We need to strike the right balance between providing that cost of living relief but also making sure that we can fund the services that we need, the aged care wage increase. We need to improve and bolster Medicare. We need to fund our national security.
China's decision to review crippling tariffs on Australian barley is being welcomed with cautious optimism by the federal opposition. The coalition says the Labor government should expect nothing less than full removal of the 80% tax. Australian action against China at the World Trade Organization has been paused while the review is underway. A senior Liberal is resigning from the federal front bench over the party's stance on the Indigenous voice to Parliament. The Liberals are opposing the advisory body, arguing it won't improve life for First Nations people. But now the former Shadow Indigenous Affairs Minister will campaign for the voice. Julian Lisa says it's important to do the right thing.
Today I'm resigning without rancour, but on a point of principle. And I think what I want to be able to say to my children in the future is that your father stood up for something that he believes in, and that's really important, and that's what all of us as parliamentarians should do.
Now turning to 5AA sport, the Crows will kick off the gather round against Carlton on Thursday night. It was a shaky start to the season, but Rory Sloane has told the 5AA Sports Show they're finding their feet.
The last 2 weeks have been a bit more consistent, and that's what we're going after. I mean, the first 2 games we played a couple of halves of footy, and the focus for us now is to build that consistency across every game that we come up against, and especially this next little period.
Sydney's Buddy Franklin will be a no-show in Adelaide. He's been ruled out of Friday night's clash against Richmond due to injury. Well, Collingwood's Jack Crisp has learned his fate after facing the AFL Integrity Unit over a leaked controversial video on social media from 5 years ago. He's avoided suspension and has been ordered to undertake an education program. Crisp has apologised for his behaviour. Magpies General Manager of Football Graham Wright says the club supports Crisp.
The AFL have interviewed Jack, determined that it was inappropriate conduct. He's made an apology in relation to that. He's made significant steps in that period of time to better himself, and I spoke to Tony Keane and Andrew Dillon this afternoon, and they were really comfortable with where it's at.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Gawler, got a car v tree, Two Wells Road near Wilkinson Road. Prospect got a twisted traffic light, Regency Road near Prospect Road. I'm quite busy at the moment, South Road at Mile End, also Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North. Slow going for works at Woodville Road near Bower Streets, and got a camera at Tolmer Road at Elizabeth Park. Get that Sportsbet Same Game Multi feeling this AFL Gather Round. Combine multiple single bets for bigger odds. Make it a Same Game Multi with Sportsbet. You win some, you lose more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers tonight down to 16, a shower or two tomorrow 21, cloudy Thursday 21 and a sunny morning Friday 26. Right now it's 21 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, the stage is set for the AFL's first ever gather round. Tonight, just how big it'll be for South Australia. See the moment a man's leap from the law ended with a broken leg. The wallet-sized card that protects you from hackers. And a link between a lack of sleep and cognitive decline in middle-aged men. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News, happening now.
Get in here. It's Sheeds. We don't have the time to mess around. We can't afford any more downtime, and we need a result. It's about trust, and for hydraulic hose repairs, Ryco 24/7 are the ones. They'll get to you wherever you are. Their vans are on the road with fully qualified repairers, and they are supported by that other great South Australian team, BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. Call Ryco 24/7 on 133247 or visit ryco247.com.au.
Don't lag behind. Get award-winning internet that just works. Switch to Aussie Broadband and enjoy awesome speeds to make your home a powerhouse this year, so you can work and play with ease. We're Australia's most trusted telco, and our award-winning network is trusted by over 600,000 Aussies. So you can rest assured, we've got your back. Switch in minutes at aussiebroadband.com.au, based on Roy Morgan's 2022 risk report.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 6. Jane Woodlands-Thompson coming up shortly. The Masters games are creeping up very, very quickly. We'll get a bit of an update of where that's at, and even your darts, boys. Your campaign for the darts competition.
No need to rehearse.
We'll do a little bit of that. And
I started on the weekend.
And after 6:30, Ned McHenry's fishing show will be taking place. Merv Hughes to join him on the show. But our next guest is thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Yeah, one of the most entertaining players that took the field in the 80s and early 90s. He was a star with Sydney and then actually was involved in the move when South Melbourne went up to Sydney in 82, and he then went to Carlton and got himself a premiership and a Norm Smith medal. Please make welcome David Rhys-Jones. G'day, mate.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you.
You're in town because you're doing a show called the Blues Royal Rumble, where I think the referee's going to be Stephen Kernahan. It's yourself and Greg Diesel-Williams. And the irony of that is you both started at Sydney, yet went down to Carlton to get your flags. But did you cross over at either club?
Yeah, last year I ended up playing with Diesel, which was a bit of a shame because I wanted to get him. But so, it was getting tough when he was one of my teammates. But the last year, 1992, we both played a year together there. So no, it'll be a bit of fun tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to it.
So the show's tomorrow night, The Line, in Melbourne Street, of course, and that'll be a really good. Set of stories, I would imagine, from you guys. I mean, which ones are you going to tell? I love the Dennis Banks one. That was a cracking story.
I get a headache every time I see that one, to be perfectly honest. But, it's funny. I keep looking at. I mean, I got this so-called reputation, but I look at all these videos and I copped a lot worse than I ever dished out. I know that. So maybe I should jump on this concussion bandwagon at the moment.
well, you're still the most reported player in AFL/VFL history, 25 times in 13 seasons. That's nearly 2 a year.
Misunderstood.
Now, come on, buddy. I mean, give us your favourite. What was your favourite report of those 25?
Oh, look, I never went out with any intention, to be perfectly honest. I remember one day I was going to Carlton and my wife at the time said, look, we've got some people coming over on Monday night. Can you please not get reported? And I said, do you think I really want to get reported? Having this argument going up Sydney Road to the Carlton footy ground. And you wouldn't believe it, I got reported that day. But, one of those things. But, it just seemed to follow me around. But, I mean, I'd have blokes, they'd be coming out, they wouldn't be worried about getting a kick. They'd just be out there to annoy me and try and put me off my game, which was, part and parcel of footy back in those days.
It's got the untold truths, the 87 and 95 flags. It's got here the punch-ons, the footy trips, the Brownlows and the mullets. Now, your moulet wasn't bad, but Kerners has got you there. I thought what went on a footy trip stays on a footy trip, David Rhys-Jones.
Yeah, most of it does. So, people will have to come along to find out what's going to happen here. But, look, I mean, obviously it was different times back then, so we're allowed to a little bit of scope to put a bit of mayonnaise on a few things, but most of it's all fact, and that's what really comes across, I suppose, how it was back then, and it was a different era to what it is today.
Yeah, certainly is. Do you like the modern game? How would you gone in it? If I think of the MRO, with what we got away with back when we played, 25 times, you would have been reported 50. In actual fact, you wouldn't have got on the deck, David Rhys-Jones.
Well, to be perfectly honest, and as I said before, I've probably had a few little indiscretions, but I would have loved to have gone out there and just been able to play football instead of having to worry about blokes grabbing hold of you and pinching you and whacking you behind play and so forth. So, and with the cameras and that now, that sort of thing wouldn't happen. So you'd be able to go out and play football without having to worry about the rubbish side of it.
Yeah. You get probably told a lot about your reports, but as a player, at your best, just frighteningly good, and a Norm Smith medal in a grand final. They don't hand them out like lollies. You kept Dermy Brereton goalless in that 87 flag. You got any fond memories of that?
Oh, well, that's what you play football for, and not to win a Norm Smith medal, of course, but to win a premiership, and lucky enough to be part of that 87 team that got over the line. And we had a few factors, I think, that year that really drove us. And I think, Desi English contracted cancer early in the year. Peter Motley, great South Australian, had his terrible accident that year. And a good mate of mine, Bernie Evans, got rubbed out for one match, in the second semi, after the second semi, and that was the grand final. So we had three of our good mates who couldn't be out there with us, who all three of them would have definitely played if they had I been fit and able to. So, I think in the back of our mind we went out that day and no one was going to beat us that day.
Nah. Wouldn't have won it without the South Australian flavour.
No, exactly. Yeah, geez, Mark Nayley, wasn't he? Fantastic. Right through that final series. Sticks, of course, was just a champion leader, and Craig Bradley as well. We did benefit from South Australia's loss at that particular time with those, great players, great footballers. So,
what was your run-in with Diesel Williams? Where was it when he was playing at Carlton and you were at Sydney? Or?
No, I was at Carlton. He was at Sydney. He'd crossed from Geelong to Sydney at the time.
That's right.
It was an interesting one because a bit of an all-in blue sort of started, and Diesel was a bit of a sniper. So I remember having a look around to see where he was, and I knew he had a bad shoulder, so I got him and I bulldogged him and I got him into the turf and I think I rubbed his face in the mud and said, "You're not going to get anyone today." And I was wrong.
He took on my skipper over here, David. His name was Gary McIntosh, and they knocked each other's front tooth out in a State of Origin game.
Yeah. Well, as we say, it was a different ball game back then. So it was. Look, we enjoyed it, what we did back then, and we had a beer afterwards, and we had after-match functions and different things. So, different ball game these days. So.
Has Carlton organically grown enough to make the 8? Have they finished cooking what they've been brewing? Are they any chance? Haven't they? Since bloody 95? They any chance against the Crows Thursday?
Absolutely. They're flying it. We're undefeated, Haven't you noticed that? We are undefeated.
True.
And, so, the draw with Richmond. But, we haven't been beaten yet. So, no, look, I'm really optimistic about this year being the year that Carlton sort of starts putting their stamp onto the competition. And that we've been building to this period for quite a while now. But I think we've got the players, we've got the coaches, we've got the off-field stuff's all working brilliantly at the moment, so I think everything's just purring along nicely. And if Harry Mackay gets off tonight, that'll be even more.
Yeah, and you know what? Chance. He's bloody likely to, the bloody VFL.
Well, there was nothing in it, Jesus. I mean, it's, I don't know. I shake my head sometimes at what players, are getting a week or two for these days. But, I accept, but he's got the bloke in the shoulder. He went down and nothing happened. So he was good as gold, the young fella. So he'll play this week, and so will Harry, hopefully.
Okay.
And Walshy back too, Wade. I think that's a great news for Carlton supporters as well.
Yeah, okay.
He's a champion. He is.
Do you want me to wreck your night?
What's happened?
I'll wreck your night by saying this: Carlton have never won on Adelaide Oval.
Yes, they have.
No, they haven't.
I reckon they have. Nope. I reckon Bev kicked a goal to win one year.
That was at Football Park. That was at
Football Park, was it?
Yeah,
okay. We've never. No, I do remember going to one of the early matches when we played Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
And they absolutely flogged us. They were just on fire that day. I remember at three-quarter time, I was sitting with the committeemen and that sort of thing, and I got up at three-quarter time, and they said, "Where are you going?" So I'm getting out of here. And they looked at me and they said, "You can't leave." I said, "I can leave, you can't leave." And out I went.
Oh, God. Now, I've got here, it's the Lion Hotel, which is one of the great pubs in South Australia. It's an institution, which is great. The legend Stephen Kernahan is going to be a bit of an MC. I can go down and meet you and get a selfie for $99, David Rees-Jones. That's bloody highway robbery.
Cheap, I
reckon. Sensational. Should be a great night.
I still got me hair.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That's true. Hey, mate, legendary stuff. It should be a great night. It's tomorrow night, Lion Hotel. Get down there, $49 general admission. Should be an absolute cracking night. Diesel Williams, Stephen Kernahan.
What a team.
David Rees-Jones. Should be a terrific night.
There'll be some great stories. Yeah,
there will be.
Thanks very much for coming on, David.
All right, guys. No worries.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah,
what a champion he was.
He could play.
What a great footballer.
Like people go, well, you got to report. Mate, he could play.
One of the blokes that you want to go to watch play because you know, like a Brereton, where there's something's going to happen, isn't it?
But he had wafer thin arms. He was as skinny as a rake. He looked like he wouldn't blow out a cake, but God, he used to use his dogs a bit in his elbows. And
he tells a great
he
story
used to
about
like shirt fronting.
Remember Dennis Banks playing for Collingwood, and he could fight as well. And he reckons that he was down in the back line, and Dennis Banks was there, and he gave him one, and he said it was one of those moments in time where you go, I wish I hadn't have done that. And he said, I took off. And he said, I knew Banksy'd be coming. Yeah. And he said, I ran down, and he said, anyway, we got the ball in the back line, and I just ran away from Dennis Banks towards the coach's box because I want to get off the oval. And he said, and the player thought I was leading, so he kicked it to me. He missed the target, and of course you see it famously whack out for the count.
18 after 6. We're going to take a break. We'll get the injury report shortly. 2 small bits of news. Mitch Owens is the rising star for St Kilda because I know that Graham Corns wanting to see Max Michaelani announced. It won't be this round. Mitch Owens from St Kilda.
He'll get one.
And Harry Mackay is still having the tribunal deliberate at the moment.
You watch.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
get that.
Oh, you want to do Western Hospital injury report?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, Western Hospital invested in your safety at an intensive care unit and doctor on site 24/7. Here are the key notes. Darcy Fogarty has put his hand up, has declared himself available for Thursday night, so away he goes. D. Fogarty, Josh Worrell with his hamstrings 1 week, and Hugh Bond still 4 to 6 weeks away. So they're nearly absolutely full tilt odds there, aren't they? Have you got Ports?
Absolutely, I have. Well, there's only one player that is not available for gather round, and that is Orazio Fantasia. He's got a quad that will be between 3 and 4 weeks. Trent McKenzie got through the game again with his ankle injury. He was fine. Xavier Dersma suffered a hyperextension of his left knee in that last quarter, but he ran the game out and won't be in any doubt whatsoever to face the Dogs on Saturday night.
There you go. And the great man, David Rees-Jones, was brought to us by Powers. He's one of our Powers, Powerfoot Airport Liquor Store. Go and see Sam and Jamie down there. Just the best. They are just the best. Their range is exquisite, and we thank David Rees-Jones. Get out to the Lion Hotel tomorrow night.
19 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. He's got one of the best kicks in the AFL.
Smith has a shot, they're in front. That's better.
And each week, Crow star Brodie Smith joins the 5AA Sports Show. Thanks to ACET Couriers. Need something delivered for your business? Don't risk it. Ace it with ACET Couriers.
Hey, you in the car. If your next service is due, just remember that Mawson Lakes Mazda has your back. We'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. Your car gets the love too, with our state-of-the-art service centre brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
There are many joys that come with growing older, and Arbor Vitae helps you optimise these joys. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement made from natural ingredients like pycnogenol, enzyme papain from the papaya fruit, aloe vera and honey. It helps to reduce mild arthritis, relieve other joint pain, and helps to maintain healthy blood glucose, cholesterol levels and cognitive functions. For Tracy from New South Wales, Arbor Vitae has saved her career. She's a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years. After trying Arbor Vitae, all her pain disappeared and she thanks Arbor Vitae for saving her career. Optimise your life and visit arborvitae.com.au. Remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use. Stocked in chemists and health food stores all over Adelaide.
With power prices continuing to soar, Solar Heart is helping smart Australians soak up more sunshine, store more energy, and save more money on every bill. And right now, you can save up to $1,000 on Solar Heart solar power systems, including our new high-performance 415-watt silhouette panels. The bigger the system, the bigger the saving. So don't settle for soaring power prices. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
If it pops, or if it twists, you'll find it at Facina. If it comes in a can, or is best in a glass, you'll find it at Facina. If you serve it on the rocks, or with a paper umbrella. In fact, whether it's wine, beer or spirits, whatever you fancy, you'll find it at Facina. Facina, your local independent SA family liquor stores.
Hi, I'm Steve Wormald from Walco Liners and Covers out at Paraka. We're a manufacturing business. We'd never done radio. Contacted 5AA and were teed up with James Wellham. After I touched base with James, we had a meeting. We also got hooked up with Creative from 5AA. I had a strategy on timing of the ads. I didn't have really any clue on the content of the ad. So Creative, and I was trusting. I don't know anything about content, and I just said, go for your life. Do whatever you want. And I think you've got to do that. When you come to AA, Creative, let them do their job, which is exactly what we did. We just went, go for it.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 6. Before we get to Jane Woodlands-Thompson, we have your chance to bid on an amazing VIP experience at the Adelaide Oval with your own corporate box at any AFL game of your choice this season. That's excluding Showdown, sadly, though valued at over $7,000. Now, for you and 17 mates to be involved and enjoy the game with hospitality included, with one of the best vantage points at the Adelaide Oval, you have to bid on this amazing prize at policelegacysA.org.au. We're going to take live bids on Friday afternoon to see who takes home this amazing experience. All those funds will be raised and supporting SA Police Legacy, where you can support SA Police families when they need it most. policelegacysA.org.au. We'll be doing that Friday.
A great foundation, that one. Hey, the Australian Masters Games is October 7th to 14th. It's in Adelaide. Joining us is Jane Woodlands-Thompson, GM of the Games. Jane, how are the numbers coming on and any new sports?
Hey, guys. Yes, there are 40 sports on at the moment, so we're rocketing towards that 50. So, yeah, we're really excited to have our 40 sports and a few more around the corner.
I got into training on Sunday, Jane, and I've started my regime. It's brutal, there's no doubt about that. Throwing darts at a dartboard and holding a beer, it's not an easy combination, let me tell you.
No, lots of balancing required and laser-like concentration. So, no, I hope it's going well. I was thinking of you guys the other day over Easter and had a few throws on the dartboard at the Holiday House, and let me tell you, I think I'll stick to other sports because I was horrible.
So what are some of the new ones that are coming in for the 19th Masters?
Look, pickleball's about to come on, and we've had so many inquiries about that. Really popular on the East Coast, and got a couple of international inquiries about that one actually. So we're really excited to have that one up. Q Sports is up, so billiards, snooker. That'll be. It's got quite a bespoke sort of population there, and I think the big one, a top 10 sport for us, has been swimming. So swimming is on down at the Aquatic Centre at Marion, and we're expecting big numbers there.
VIP gold entries. When does that close? Is that the end of April?
It is. We've just announced that closing date, so we've seen a bit of a flurry, and you get some really cool benefits with the VIP gold. So $30 off the registration price. It's an upgraded backpack, gold entry everywhere, and if you get in the first 10% of your sport, even if it's not up yet, it'll still be the first 10% of each sport. You get a decent bottle of wine and VIP functions for the opening ceremony and also the concert. So it's a pretty good deal to get in by the 30th of April.
Hang on, you've inspired me there. I didn't know that there were prizes. A decent bottle of Adelaide wine.
Yes.
I like that. Now, you're going to be basing yourself on the riverbank, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So since we last spoke, we've announced our village venue. So we're pretty much based around the riverbank every night, and that village will be open. So the Festival Plaza will be the village, and Sky City will be the place for the after party. So we can cater for you guys that like to party all night, as well as those who want to come back for a few quiet ales and head home. And Thursday night we're heading down the bay, and they're putting on a ripper show for us down there on the Thursday. So every other night in the village there'll be some sort of interactive entertainment, plus the opening and closing ceremonies and the midweek concert, and that headline act is about to drop in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that one too.
Well, come on, don't tease us. Is it Pink? Is it Robbie Williams? You know what it is, Jane.
I do. I've just got the contract in my inbox as we speak. So, as soon as I sign that, I can't tell you too much, but really, really popular. I went and had a look very recently at this show, and I absolutely loved it. It's going to appeal to everyone from our 30-year-olds through to our 80, 90-year-olds, I think. So it's a bit of a trip through the ages. So that's all I'm saying for now.
Can I have a sneaky guess?
No, because I don't want to get into trouble for revealing it.
I'm just guessing. It's not the Hindley Street Country Club, is it?
Oh, they're awesome.
I love them.
I'm not saying a word. I can't say anything
Oh,
yet.
right. Well, Jane, that's okay. Now, will I need to have dry October and be in my best darts condition, Jane? Or is it more for people that just want to have a good time and socialise and, just have some fun?
You can do both.
Okay.
It's a good balance. You can absolutely do both. And, half the Masters Games is chasing the medals and having a great time and having a crack on the sports field or in the darts arena. But from 4 o'clock onwards every night, head back to the village. There's really good entertainment. And, people like to have a great time. So we'll see some drinking. We've got great food options in the village too. So you can kind of go there and hang out for the whole night, really. And, of course, there's that travel piece as well. So we've got, I think, about 30% of our entrants are from interstate or overseas. So, they're certainly wanting to get in and see South Australia as well as participate in the games.
Get your nominations in. Take on Timmy and I. Jane, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Jane Woolens-Thompson there. Australian Masters Games General Manager, October 7 to the 14th. It's in Adelaide. You've got the Game Village. You've got all these sports, 40 of them. There's got to be one for you.
Oh, yeah. It's an awesome atmosphere. Atmosphere.
I
Love
actually
that.
can't wait.
Out of the 19, Adelaide have hosted 8 of them.
There you go.
How's that?
Because we do it better than any.
There you go.
There you go. It is 29-6. It's good night for you two.
And it's good night from him.
We have Ned McHenry's fishing show coming up next.
Nettie.
Yes.
And he's got who? Merv the Swerve.
Merv, big Swerve and Merv on next. Crows team tomorrow. Gather round tickets tomorrow. So we'll be back from 4 o'clock. So look forward to another sports show. But Ned McHenry joining us next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
At WEA, we can teach you hundreds of things, or you can be the teacher. If you have a skill or passion you'd like to pass on, contact WEA. We'll even help you build your course. Visit wea-sa.com.au.
How easily could you save hundreds off your energy bills?